Everybody get up, it's time to slam now. We got the real jam going down. Welcome to the Space Jam. Here's your chance, do your dance at the Space Jam. Alright.
That's definitely my people. Welcome to Yellow Brick Road. I am Jordan, and today we're going to watch some Sabby Sabs. Tell me more about the Midas Touch, the YouTube channel. Pause. Tell me more about the Midas Touch, the YouTube channel, who I know very little about. I've seen some of their cursory things. I've seen, I think, where they live streamed a Bernie AOC rally. Okay, fine. But so far, not trustworthy by my standards. But you know what? Maybe Sabby Sabs are going to either help them out or harm them based on wherever she goes with us. But first, don't forget to share, support, hopefully donate to all the links in the description box. Check them out, read them, share them, then donate. Do it. Do it now. Thank you. All right. Your background audio is going to fuck my video up. I want you to know that right now. Listen, creepy... What's the guy's name again? Emblem. Emblem. What is he playing? Did he walk away? What's the name of the cartoon guy he has as his icon picture?
What are you talking about?
What's your picture name? What's the name of the picture again?
My picture?
Yeah.
Big D Randall. Big D Randall.
Big D Randy. Get this shit away from me.
What, did you just notice that? What are you talking?
No, I noticed. I'm just saying, like, your background audio is going, and I was like, yeah someone shut... I forgot his name, so I was like, okay. Shut this fool up. Anyways, you were not muted, by the way. But anyways.
No, you were muted.
So, title of the video from Sabby Sabs: Midas Touch pretends Democrats are real opposition, which is not looking good for the Midas Touch. So, you know what? Let's hear some hard-hitting information from Sabby Sabs to roast these Midas Touch fucking weirdos who are working on behalf of the Democratic Party. That's some loser shit. Here we go, Sabby. Also, good morning.
One of the
That's
things
a loud
that
intro.
I mentioned recently is that I've become greatly concerned about so-called independent media or YouTube media becoming too much like corporate media, and that cannot be further from the truth when it comes to Midas Touch.
True.
Recently, there was a video made by Current Affairs, Nathan Robinson.
Sabby's bangs were made by Zeus himself.
About something that Midas Touch, the podcast, is doing that should be a red flag to all of you, and regardless of who you voted for. Okay, let's make that very clear. Regardless of if you voted for Kamala, Trump, Jill Stein, etc., or you stayed at home, because it's showing a pattern of something that I've been noticing as well, and that is audience capture. Let's get into
that. Is actually something interesting to bring up. I mean, my main thing, the thing I complain about a lot in politics is definitely team playing. And because maybe someone doesn't like Trump so much that they'll accept anyone who's against them. Almost like Jimmy Dore with the Democrats, right? If they make an okay point about Democrats, oh, I don't care if you're MAGA. Yeah, come on, join me. Let's go. A coalition of the willing. Come on, join up. Right? And it's just like, you're actually working against yourself. See, those main policies that you actually care about, Jimmy, you're actually walking further and further away from them. Because these dumb fucks that will just listen to you and think like these dumb fucks that you're tricking, essentially, to start giving you attention, if you say something like, I don't know, Medicare for all, Jimmy, they're going to be like, that's socialism, with no real arguments, no real substance to it, no real nuance. They just go in that direction. There's a lot of people that will do that, Jimmy Dore. Like, I don't think he realized that there's a lot of people there just to watch him turn against Democrats. Like, yo, Jimmy finally gets it. Or Jimmy's balanced. Like, Tim Pool did the same thing. The fans felt like they were actually changing Tim Pool around. Meanwhile, Tim Pool was just like, I'll go in whatever direction that gets me followers, viewers, money, yada, yada, yada. I don't actually care about any of you. Whatever gives me that, massive audience, I'll do it. Hopefully Jimmy's different than that, but I think that's what they're looking for, man. They've been preconditioned by someone you're supposed to be calling out and shitting on. Let's be real. Tim Pool. Or Crowder. I guess it's okay. I guess Jimmy has the green light on Shapiro now, but there's others that are actually subverting the direction you want to go in, Jimmy Dore. And they're not on the Democratic side as far as what they say out loud, right? They actually say they're on the other side of the aisle. Meanwhile, they're kind of subverting where you actually want to go. You dummy. You dumb fuck. Anyway, he's old and out of shape. He lost the soy sauce in his hair. I get it. I understand it. Let's keep it going. But yes, the Midas Touch guys or anyone like them will look good right now because Trump is horrendous. And they'll look good calling him out. But when there's a Democrat in office, they might keep their fucking mouth shut. And then they'll say their reason, their excuse, well, we don't want another Trump coming around here. So I need to lie on behalf of Joe Biden, Kamala Harris, Pete Buttigieg, whoever. It's okay to promote AOC right now, but if AOC is like, yo, Harris ain't that good, bro. Right? About, like, let's say, when Harris is, let's pretend AOC said that. Midas Touch would be like, has AOC betrayed her own people? Right? They'd make some sort of hit piece on her, most likely. In my humble opinion. Without knowing too much. Is that Richard Medhurst, by the way? Is that him? It is, isn't it? Right here? See this? It's like that famous picture of like the people standing up, and it's George Galloway. Crazy. Where am I at, bro? Where am I? I'm in there somewhere, right? I gotta be.
The black outlines.
I'm smiling in the background. You can see my teeth, Cheshire cat teeth in the background somewhere. Anyways,
we're dude in a hoodie.
Anyways, let's keep it rolling. Here we go.
This clip here from Nathan Robinson, and
Nathan J. Robinson here.
I want to get your insight about this as well.
Shout the prop. He's
Midas
the best at saying
Touch
that.
Podcast. By the way, they have passed Joe Rogan. They are at the top now. After Donald Trump won, there has been a shift in growth for podcasts in the political space. Listen.
Yeah. As I've said 2 million times already, but Rachel Maddow, once again, before this last little stretch of YellBro videos, years ago, talked about Rachel Maddow becoming popular because the Iraq War was unpopular and a Republican was in office. Thus, she looks better when she criticizes them. These guys will look like geniuses because they're calling out Trump when he's obviously doing horrendous shit. Anyways, here we go.
Listen to this.
Nathan J. Robinson here.
The Midas Touch political podcast has rapidly become the most successful in the United States.
I love YellBro.
And views of Midas Touch on platforms including YouTube, Spotify, Apple, they more than doubled over the past month to 150.
If there was ever a man that needed to be put in the locker.
Is this fool from Britain or where's he from?
He's a fake Brit. He's fake British, right? Didn't you tell me that?
If this fool's from Iowa, I'm gonna freak out, Anthony. I want you to know that right now.
I don't know where this.
Nathan J. Robinson here. I still think Prop does it better. He's better at it, but
yes, he's a savage.
I'll start over so we don't miss Nathan J's stance. Here we go.
Rapidly become the most successful in the United States.
What'd you say?
Is that actually his name?
Why is your audio so dog cheeks right now? Big D Randall. Yeah, Nathan J. Robinson. I'm turning you up a bit. Alright, I went lower for some reason.
All right, I got to talk into the mic directly. I usually had a headset before.
That is much better. All right, here we go. Yes, his name is Nathan J. Robinson. Here we go.
Downloads and views of Midas Touch on platforms including YouTube, Spotify, Apple, they more than doubled over the past month to 115 million, which is more than twice what Joe Rogan had during the same period. Midas Touch is run by three brothers, Ben, Brett, and
By three losers.
Jordy Mycelis. Ben, a lawyer, got his start interning for Sean Diddy Combs at Bad Boy Records before working in the offices of Hillary Clinton and representing.
Okay, now I don't do guilt by association.
That's a lot of red flags, bro.
But, you know.
The red flags.
It's no big deal, Anthony. He just brought in the ex to the office.
He kept his underwear on.
I love how this guy skipped Colin Kaepernick. Why not mention his name too?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. When I saw the Kaepernick thing, I saw dollar signs and Nike checks everywhere. It was weird. Like, damn, there's a lot of Nike checks around here. What's going on?
There is.
Did cops stop killing people? No.
Nope.
Now, not to say that he's supposed to be responsible for fixing all that. It's just, I don't think Nike's there to help in regards to that stuff. I just don't think so. Me personally.
And that gives the right the angle they're looking for. Oh, it's just money for him. He doesn't even believe in it.
So, anyways, with this guy, or I don't know these guys too well. It's just like man. So you're surrounded by probably, not saying maybe less so Kaepernick, but maybe even less so Diddy. But Hillary Clinton, blatantly, you are surrounded by corruption, and you keep your fucking mouth shut. That means you are, get the fuck out of here. You're not worth. Get the fuck out. Go back to kindergarten. Learn your shit again. Learn simple ethics again. Then come back to us.
If she ran, he'd support her and say
100%.
it is the moral right thing to do.
Exactly. Which is scary. That's a scary statement. Like I said, go back to kindergarten, learn simple ethics, then come back to us. Like, start from there, go graduate through the grades, then come back to us. You know, learn how to not double dip your celery because you might spread germs to other kids, right? So, you're one dip of celery, then eat it. Do not double dip it. Watch them break those rules too. Like, you little fucking loser. Get the fuck out of the classroom. Start over again. Tired of these fools, bro. We give them way too much room. That frustrates me to no end, man. That these guys get so much fucking room to fuck up. Meanwhile, they just get funneled millions of fucking dollars.
Yep.
And attention and all that shit. It's like, yo, they don't fucking deserve that shit. They're trash cans. The kindergartners know better, bro. Billy Madison, these motherfuckers, bro. Please. Send them back through the grades. Learn simple ethics of working together with people. Not just pure, full-blown fucking strategy to get one up on the other team that's equally corrupt. I can't tell you guys apart from each other. I can't. God. What's up?
It's these people's job.
Is that me or your audio? Is that me?
No, good. It's these people's job to because you were.
Yeah, God.
Muted. Okay.
Your
good.
screen says muted, but I hear you.
Okay. All right. So it's these people. You were saying before with the kindergartners know better. Yeah, our instincts, like from the get go, from when we were born, probably say all this murder, death, and destruction, and the stupidity of between these two idiots is wrong. Which you could go through this goddamn idiot chamber and leave stupider than you ever were before as a 5-year-old.
I mean, it's. I agree. These guys have to teach themselves, or someone else has to teach them into thinking that, like, yeah, well, you know, sometimes Gaddafi got to die. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Sometimes he's got to go.
You could ask a 5-year-old a question like this, and they'll be like, "I think that's wrong." You give that 5-year-old like years and years of this shit, he'll come out a psychopath.
I think so.
Ted Bundy.
I think so. I actually agree with you. A normal 5-year-old will be like, "Who's Gaddafi?" Which is a better statement, question, assessment than these fools could ever dream of. Way better. Like, who is that? Is a better start than these fucking idiots. I'm telling you right now. But all right, let's continue.
I just one last point. I had a friend of mine who's to this day, when I bring up like the slave markets and people dying of boats, like escaping to go to Italy from Libya, he's like, I asked him like all this terrible shit that's going on right now, and he's like, yeah, but Gaddafi was killing protesters.
Of course. Oh, hey man. Here, once again, the 5-year-old will be like, "What's a protester, and how do we know he did it?" Simple ass question leads to a better result. Like, yeah, let's investigate all of it. Let's stop everything and investigate everything. But no one wants to do that. It's just like, oh no, he killed protesters. Let's go blow him up now. Oh, he's dead already? All right, next.
He killed protesters, therefore he deserves to get stabbed to death.
But wait, guys, what'd you do with Gaddafi? No, we're on the Syria, guys. Sorry, we're in Syria now. Sorry, that's old news. It's already too late. We're moved past it. You know, we're in Syria. Shut up about Libya and Gaddafi now. Shut up.
When could Cuba and North Korea be free? We're busy on Iran.
Before I hit play, let me get just a quick idea from you guys. Do we think? Let's start with this Midas Touch channel without even really knowing them too well. Maybe you do, maybe you don't. I don't know. Do you think their viewership is legitimate, or are they view botting and all that bullshit, buying views and buying subscribers? What do you guys think?
From what I've seen, I don't know if they're like maybe they're going for like the older generation, but I don't know if the older generation would even go on on these sites. So I want to say maybe it's like an NCBC crowd that like likes podcasts now. I don't know how big that would be though.
I don't know. Ant, what do you think if you're there, or Harrison?
Oh, what? What were you saying?
What do you think these guys are legitimate, or do you think they view bot or buy views? What do you think?
Oh, the views. I don't think you could. But they're like legit on Spotify, right? They can't fake that.
Yeah, you can.
And
Jay-Z buys his own albums.
And I have no idea. I've never heard of these cats before.
Fair enough.
So Jordan brought him to my text.
I don't know. Something tells me that, listen, if a government type political affiliated people want to get someone boosted, they can fucking do that. 100%.
Yeah, well, think about it. They're shitting all over Rogan. They're doubling his viewership or whatever.
For what? Right? That's crazy.
No, and I'm like, dude, think about the shit Rogan does and be where he's at, bro. Rogan has this fucking podcast, and he gets crazy famous people to go on his shit.
Exactly.
And you're telling me these dudes doubled his shit like that, and I've never heard of these fuckers. Who the fuck are these people watching this shit? You're talking about, bro, 115 million what? What was it, the article we wrote? And the article was what, 115 what?
Million. I think it was like views or downloads, I think. In a short period of time, I'm pretty sure. Right?
Since Trump won or something like that?
More than doubled over the past month to top 115 million.
All combined. YouTube, Spotify, Apple.
Compared with Rogan's 64 million, I guess, views or downloads, right?
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe I just
downloads and views. Over the past month, whenever this article is, the past month of that, 115 million, which doubled Rogan's. Doesn't make sense to me. I don't know if that's...
That doesn't make sense to me either.
That's kind of where I was saying. I don't know where it's at. I've seen their content. I just think it's for like people who would love like seeing Aaron and NBC, but like in a podcast form. I don't know how big that market would be because frankly, those dudes are like senior citizens and they don't know how to work phones.
Well, I watched the what was it, Wayne Wayne and Garth, the Vanguard or whatever. I watched their shit. And they're like, yo, this Brian Tyler Cohen guy is pretty good now, right? And I watched his content, and this guy's like corporate news. That's all he is. He's just corporate news.
Who the fuck is Brian?
Exactly. But these guys are making million-viewed videos every time.
Yeah.
Kyle should be like, yo, someone investigate this. Kyle Kalinske should be like, yo, someone investigate this. Why am I not in the top whatever of views. How
I've
come
had a
these
fun
guys
time
are
watching
that
Dan
far
Skeeter.
ahead? I think they're view botting, bro. 100%. I think they're view botting, but I don't think it's from some shady third party from India type thing, bro. I think it's like local and domestic, like
They
domestic
watch the
companies.
videos 100 times each.
Like I think they're view botting through like the premium view botting shit. Like where these fools might have social securities for all we know, bro. Like fake social security numbers, like dead people fucking boosting up their channel and shit. For all we fucking know. But all right, let's keep it going. I just wanted to get your intuitive sense of like, are these guys full of shit? Because everything about them smells like full of shit. Anyways, here we go.
Sean Diddy Combs at Bad Boy Records before working in the offices of Hillary Clinton and representing.
Oh boy, that's a tough one. I just had to mention that here. That is a doozy. So he's showing you what I appreciate what Nathan Robinson is doing here is that he's showing you the background so that you can understand where they come from, what they represented, and what their goal is here with this particular
These
podcast.
fools smell fishy.
One of the brothers here, this is really interesting. Representative Colin Kaepernick interned for Diddy and Hillary Clinton. So obviously they are not in the camp of let's support politicians that advocate for universal policies. They're not in the camp of, we got to get the billionaires out, that type of thing. That's not their style. They're very much status quo liberals. That's basically
it. They're starting to smell like what's his name, PBD. All right, they smell like that guy, but they didn't interview Kobe first. They didn't interview fucking mafia dudes first. Like the entertainment factor shit.
And even that shit would have made more sense to me going, getting 115 million views.
Yes.
Not these fuckers. I've never heard of these fuckers, bro. Never, not once.
Have they ever had anyone big on there, like at all?
Malcolm Nance, fucking Michael Cohen. People that the dudes we watch would never have on.
Yeah.
That's what they have.
But I've heard people boosting them up by name, from Wayne and Garth to Kyle Kalinske, like bringing these guys up. And I'm like, oh, are you guys going to accept these guys as your quote unquote allies? Yeah, these guys are going to fuck you over. They're going to fuck you over. Clear as day, they're going to do that. And I don't see anything appealing about it. Like, I think I clicked on one of their live streams like weeks ago. Not the rally shit where they have like clean live foot. Like that's a big booster for views, right? Having clean live footage of the AOC Bernie, fight the oligarchy tour or whatever the fuck, right? Then there's just shit where it's just them on the couch talking. I'm like, these guys are fucking lames. These are actual lames. Who the fuck is watching this?
It's simple lames.
I mean, let's not go that far. But they're still lames. Like they're talking about like, oh, look at Trump sneezed and didn't say, or someone sneezed and Trump didn't say bless you. Like stupid content like that. Yeah, I know. Like dog shit content.
Time watching Cedar.
All their videos look that way, bro.
No, Cedar outflanks these fools by a mile. Like they have actually like there's some sense of interest with their content. Or Kyle Kalinske, they have some sense of interest. These fools are like they clickbait the titles by saying breaking news, and they have a picture of Michael fucking Cohen on the cover on the thumbnail and shit. And I click on it, I'm like, this is nothing. It's just some guys on the couch. It's almost like their title's clickbait, but then their actual content is actually clickbait too. You know what I mean? Like they're almost like selling a narrative that isn't in reality yet. Like it's just clickbait. And I wish I could remember. It's just like it was so dry and boring and trash that I don't fucking care about it. It's just like ugh. But I'll pay more attention now. I will pay more attention. I just thought it was like an obvious like, oh, these guys suck. Let's click off to it. Let's click off this channel. But I guess these guys are just smashing records with views. Crazy, huh? Almost like it's not real.
And Beavis and Butthead actually watch them, or do they just say they watch them?
Eventually they'll fall off. It'll come.
Are you sure Wayne and Garth actually watch them?
I don't think Wayne and Garth watch them. I think that what they do is they look over their thumbnails like, yeah, these guys are doing good work over there. That's what I think of Wayne and Garth. Like, and guess what? They are also clickbait extraordinaires, but they're not as bad as these fucking idiots as far as I've seen. The Midas Touch idiots.
Are you sure it can't be like the scenario with Elon Musk with his Path of Exile account, or when you texted it was talking to you back in Chinese. Maybe if you look up their account, like you text them like some shit, it'll text you back in Taiwanese.
I'm telling you, bro. I think they got grade A, straight from the Democratic Party view bots. That's my guess. I think they have actual view bots and subscriber bots and all that shit.
Either that, or
that's my opinion.
Every Democrat, every DNC member has been told right before you walk in the room, make sure you watch this video.
I mean, I'm gonna try to do more look more into it, like watch their content, see like, okay, what's appealing to mass amounts of people? What's actually appealing for them? It can't just be I hate Trump. That is not enough anymore. We realize that, right? Except for like older people who watch network news, but they have network news. So why the fuck do they need these fucking idiots on YouTube? They don't need them, right? Is it workers? Is it like blue collar workers who put a podcast on while they're doing some work, right? Are they listening to these fucking guys? I don't fucking think so. These like weak-kneed, no dirt under the fingernail motherfuckers. They're not listening to these guys, right? Most likely, they rather hear Rogan talk, meathead Rogan talk. Anyways, let's keep going. Maybe they got something going. I don't know. Let's keep it playing. Here we go.
What this is.
Steve Israel. Brett is a producer and editor who previously worked at the Ellen DeGeneres Show, while Jordy was an advertising executive before joining his brothers.
That fool looked like Steph Curry right there, bro. Not
previously
this picture.
Worked at the Ellen DeGeneres Show, while Jordy.
Is that Steph Curry right there, bro? Like whiter Steph Curry?
No, that's his brother Seth Curry. He looks more like Seth Curry.
Nah, he looks like whiter Steph Curry, bro. Look at this. Steph Curry without the naps. All right, here we go.
He was an advertising executive before joining his brothers. Now, the show offers itself as an alternative to the right-leaning manosphere epitomized by Joe Rogan. Its Substack has more than 500,000 subscribers, some 40,000 of whom pay at least $8 a month to get ad-free and exclusive content, meaning the project makes over $320,000 per month from Substack alone.
Someone needs to check the taxes of the Democratic Party and see where funds are going. Seriously, someone needs to check where the money's going, because this does not smell organic. But here we go. Does not smell organic at all.
From Substack alone.
Not even a little bit.
So that doesn't include the YouTube. Now we're getting into the YouTube space.
Analytics website Social Blade concludes their YouTube channel earns millions of dollars per year from ads. And as a result of dethroning Joe Rogan, Midas Touch has been receiving a lot of favorable press recently.
It's not organic, bro.
Reports they are fast becoming power brokers in Democratic politics, and that party faithful hope they're finally replicating the influential media ecosystem Republicans have built over the past decade. They have 12 full-time employees and 30 regular contributors, including the former Trump fixer Michael Cohen and former Trump associate Lev Parnas.
Now, you don't get to this level unless you have a lot of money, but if you're coming from the circles that they're coming from, this says a lot, right? Like, they already have number one thing, which is access, because of the people that they work for or they intern for. They already have access. That's the hardest thing, I would say, in the media space, the YouTube media space, especially when no one knows you, is access. How to get people to come on for interviews. I can tell you the first year I started the show, it was very, very difficult. And I started out by interviewing activists, some of the local politicians, people that were running for office. I started out that way, but it took time before I was able to get access to said journalists, et cetera. Like, it didn't happen overnight. And I think people need to understand that. But when you look at Midas Touch, it is important that you know where they come from so that you can understand why they were able to grow in such a way that others were not, right?
But who on YouTube is looking for statements from Michael fucking Cohen? Who's looking for his shit? Seriously. Is anyone, like, who's actually looking for that stuff? I'm thinking there's a concerted effort by view-botting fucking Democratic Party paid for bullshit to boost people up, bro. I look at David Pakman, I'm like, who the fuck is watching that guy? Who's watching that guy? Seriously. Who the fuck is watching David Pakman? After all the blunders of that guy, and his fault, like, as far as the indie, like, he maybe had like a credible indie following initially, but then he started saying too many pro-war shit too many pro-war, too many super-duper pro-Democratic Party shit that people were like, yo, fuck this guy. This guy's a fucking idiot, and he's a loser. We're done with him. But somehow, he has now jumped up the ranks, and you know the excuses? The excuses, they talk about Trump, right? Timmy Pool re-legitimized these idiots in that video we did, bro. Re-legitimized by saying, like, oh, look, they're just talking about Trump. That's why they're so popular. Meanwhile, no one's questioning viewbotting. No one's questioning like some sort of funny games happening in the background that's boosting these fucking fools up. Like, come on. I think something's way off here. Way off. And especially, well, Timmy might not say because he's maybe viewbotting himself. But I'm saying, like, when I look at Asmongold, I'm like, okay, I can believe there's a shit ton of fans watching him. I can believe it. And I don't think I've ever questioned him viewbotting. But I look at these Midas Touch motherfuckers, I'm like, get the fuck out of here. Who's watching this? I look at David Pakman, I'm like, who the fuck is watching this garbage, bro? This fucking cardboard with no fucking nothing. No moisture, bro. Dry ass cardboard. Who the fuck is eating that shit up? I'm wrecked, bro. It doesn't seem right to me.
There's no crumbs to it. Even though, like, we watched that shitty Minecraft movie, you know, the way it was supposed to watch, without the special effects.
Yes.
And you heard all those stories about people going crazy in the theater and shit like that, and I'm like, well, okay, I can see how this movie became popular. I can actually see, like, with my own eyes, the popularity with these dudes. It's like invisible, shit like that. Same thing with with Joe Rogan. I can actually see some popularity. I can actually imagine in my head who likes them. I can't even figure out the aliens who would like who would like Midas Touch. I can't think of anybody. It can't be old people because they don't know how to work technology, and young people would still hate this shit.
I can't understand it. I agree, man. I can't. Rogan makes sense. Asmongold makes sense. Hassan Piker makes sense. Cal Kolinski makes sense. David Pakman and the Midas Touch? Who the fuck is watching that shit? Who the fuck is watching that? Other than people that are suspicious.
So, yeah. You can imagine the fandom in your head.
Yeah. Even he makes more sense than these Midas Touch, these cardboard, dry-ass motherfuckers, man. Talk about what? What do they talk? Like, this is why I need to do, like, a deep dive and, like, really figure it out. Like, what the fuck are these guys actually talking about? That's so, like, important that deserves millions of fucking views. Versus, like, Asmongold talking about, like, a nip slip or something. Or fucking, you know, World of Warcraft going woke. Or a Trump speech or something. Like, that makes way more sense to me. Like, I can believe his audience is real. I can believe Hassan's audience is real. I can believe Ethan Klein's audience is real. These guys, something ain't right here. Something is not right.
Maybe they got, like, Instagram models in between each video.
I know. It's like they're secretly running porn videos, like, but no one sticks around long enough to find them. It's just like,
you spend so much time looking. By the time, like, it counts as a view for them.
They're secretly linking, like, the Epstein tapes or something. Like, we're getting all the info. We're seeing, like, Jay-Z and Beyonce bang, like, a underage girl or something. They're secretly showing that. I don't see anything. I don't see it.
Watch the video long enough, and you'll get a copy of GTA 6.
It's like, here's the thing. I know. You get it. There's QR codes and fucking, like, Game Pass codes. Like, yeah, play GTA 6 first. Here you go. They're giving out PlayStations and Xboxes. But it's like, for an old person, like, look at that image right there, right? Where it's Michael Cohen in his fucking office somewhere, and some guy in his fucking, you know, living room or something. And it's like, old people will see that, be like, what the fuck? This ain't official. They can just turn on MSNBC and see, like, a full studio where there's special microphones, there's no glitches and shit like that, no fucked up audio, no guy talking through his fucking earbuds in his fucking ear and shit, right? It'd be, like, professional looking. They'd be like, okay, this is the real news. This is professional. This is what I'm used to as an older person, right? There's no way the older people are coming to watch this shit. No chance, right? So, I'm wrecked, bro. I'm calling it right now. These fools are not real. I'm saying this is my opinion as of right now. 4 minutes and 58 seconds into this Sabby Sabs video, Maybe I learned something later on in this video, or maybe I learned something later on as far as days or weeks go by. But as of right now, I'm calling these fools full of shit. Full of shit. I can't. I have to.
You don't believe. I know you said you don't believe, but I'm sticking with the Indian troll farm. I have more faith in that.
I don't know. Listen, Emblem. I'm thinking they're going fucking premium domestic. These fools got their own social securities and like like makeshift bullish, like full of shit fucking bank accounts. They got some this premium shit, bro. I'm telling you. Anyways, all right, here we go.
But my main concern is not about the growth. My main concern is about the message that they're sending with their show, which Nathan is going to get into as well.
The Midas Touch are liberal, they're democratic, and they're critical of Donald Trump. Actually, that's something of an understatement because Midas Touch content, if you've seen it, is almost solely devoted to criticizing Donald Trump, sometimes Elon Musk. Now, as of this recording, in the last 7 days, out of 108 videos on the Midas Touch YouTube channel, exactly 5 are not about Trump. One is about...
Let's go back just a little bit. I didn't mean to cut him.
Now, yeah. I mean, I've been seeing several videos now talking about this. I watched the Hassan FD Signifier video. I watched the Timmy Pool video where it's like, look at these guys. Trump, which is what? That's as old as 2016, where every news coverage was about Trump. And it built him up so much, he actually won the fucking presidency from so much news coverage. Billions of dollars of free advertisement that was being run through these quote-unquote lefty channels. So, yeah, that's a weird pattern, and I think people are noticing it. Or it's all a game, and I'm being tricked too. Who knows? But, all right, here we go.
I'm off there, but
in the last 7 days, out of 100,
also almost near nothing on foreign policy, by the way.
Midas Touch YouTube channel, exactly 5 are not about Trump.
Okay. This is their channel. So Nathan is showing you these videos. By the way, Nathan is, he's
Nathan J. Did you say my name?
He's also very critical of
Nathan
Donald
J.
Trump,
Robinson,
right?
yeah.
So this isn't someone who is not critical of both sides. He's critical of both sides. And even he doesn't do this much content or this many articles about Donald Trump. And this is what worries me when I see this type of content happening in a YouTube media, which we refer to as independent media, but some of these people are not independent. And I've explained that before.
I absolutely agree with Sabby Sabs. There's a lot of quote-unquote non-independents out here. And in fact, I think someone like Kyle Kulinski sees what's happening with these channels. And I think he's trying to outflank them on information, which I think he does, on information. But also the same, like, Trump fucked up, like 40 in a row videos like that. I think he's kind of moving in that direction, but giving a lot more substance. And maybe Kyle's fighting on two fronts. Maybe he's fighting the MAGA crowd and the Trump fanaticism, but also fighting guys like the Midas Touch motherfuckers or David Pakman-like motherfuckers that are kind of subverting. Like, yo, there's real criticism to point out. You can really do this. But these guys don't point out the real fucking problems with the guy. Instead, they talk about, like, oh, well, Trump didn't tie his shoes right on Tuesday today. Let's spend an hour talking about that. Here's Trump's ex-corrupt lawyer, who's still corrupt, but he's ex-lawyer, to talk about how bad Trump is, how corrupt Trump is. He knows. It's like, is that really work? Is that... Get the fuck out of here. And Kyle's, if I had to guess, Kyle Kulinski's like, yo, what the fuck is this? But he may be afraid to say it out loud. He might be afraid to say it out loud. Like, yo, wait, what the fuck? Who the fuck are these guys? Why are people moving more and more towards, like, they passed Rogan? Like, that means they're getting a shit ton of views. And it's like, how the fuck did that happen? Kyle will say, fuck Rogan on his video. Like, Rogan's a fucking idiot. Here's my video about talking shit about Joe Rogan and how much of an idiot he is. Right? And somehow, Kyle the viewers that I guess Kyle's creating end up funneling towards the Midas Touch instead of him. That seems weird. Very weird. But you know what? Oh, good.
I gotta ask, do they even cover, like, I asked one about before, do they even cover the truly atrocious stuff Trump does? Because I noticed that's a
I'm
lot
not
of
sure.
stuff with these, you mentioned before with you had the clip of him talking about like Venezuela knows what they've done. Pretty much like I'm gonna make them fail and ruin their lives. And I've always noticed whenever they have channels like these, they'll talk forever about like I said, Trump didn't tie his shoes right, or he didn't say "bless you" after a dude sneezed. Meanwhile, like I'm gonna kill tons of babies in Palestine, and that'll just fly right over their fucking heads.
I'm telling. I went on their channels, right? I searched for keywords like Gaza or Israel or Palestine, and I'll be real with you, I'm not seeing much. I'm not seeing much. Once again, one of the most blatant, brazen crimes against humanity are happening in our day, in our real lives right now. And these fools, as far as all the crimes that Trump commits, that can't find the time to really cover that. Which is fucking bizarre, is it not? That's weird, right?
That's why they do the Russia thing, where every single day Trump would do something god awful, and they'd still be screaming Russians.
Yeah.
He could do god awful shit to the Russians, and it'd still be Russia.
Hey, man, I'll say this. If it was 5 years ago, right? If it was 5 years ago, and, you know, the topic of Israel, Palestine, Israel, Gaza, Israel, West Bank, all that stuff, it would make more sense why they're not covering it. But as of right now, in this day and age, right now in this world, this day right now, I'm telling you right now, that's one of the biggest topics, period. Like on pop culture, like people are talking about this topic, and these fools can't find the time to really cover it. And I'm like, and not just them. I also looked at the Brian. I think it's Brian Tyler Cohen. He's not really covering that either. I'm like, what the fuck? Once again, Kyle must be scratching his head saying, what the fuck do I need to do out here? What do I got to do to get their shit?
Well, you hit it on the head with Pac-Man. You brought up before, like Pac-Man says all this boring shit, but it's also what he doesn't say. That's why
Exactly.
I can't remember what clip it was where he was arguing with a fan, or the fan was asking like, "Yo, man, why aren't you talking about Israel?" And when you finally, this is the first time David Pac was actually showed his real self, because he finally like, I support that shit. He didn't say it like directly, but but it was pretty much like that shit I support. That's why I can't say it, because if I tell you it, you'll know how disgusting I am. They can't say this shit. That's why they're hiding it. You know how gross I am.
Hackman's another, yeah. He's another, but he was. That's why I thought he lost favor in the quote unquote progressive world, where they're like, "Yo, this guy is a full blown he's a neocon, essentially. His foreign policy is neocon. Yo, he supports the war in Syria. He supports, and then with the Israel Gaza, like he almost avoids that topic. But when he does talk about it, he like filibusters and bullshits around. Like, yo, David Pac-Man, say your fucking opinion. Are you afraid to say your opinion because people will find out what the fuck you actually think about things? Because that dude behaves like what people would call a Zionist. I try to stay away from that word for some reason. I have a reason for it. It's just, I'd rather get right to the point. Like, you're a cunt. I'd rather go right directly there. Like, you're a cunt. Fuck Zionism. You could be a Zionist and not be a cunt, if I had to guess. But a cunt is a cunt. And I look at David Pack and I'm like, yo, you're full of shit, bro. I don't believe you, man. Like, it is what it is. There's people who actually believe that, like, oh yeah, Hamas is so terrible that we need to be doing this and doing that and let Israel do what they do. I think there are real people who actually believe that. I don't think he's one of them. I think he's full of shit. Thus, I'm like, okay, this guy's a Douglas Murray. I'm backing out. This guy's full of shit to me.
Yeah, that's why they hide this shit. I can't tell you how I truly feel. I know how terrible it is. And if I tell you it is, you'll also know how terrible it is.
It's just, yeah. But these guys are it's weird how the weirdos keep fucking gaining ground like this when they should be like going extinct. These guys call it dinosaur media for a reason. Like, you should be going extinct. I don't care if you do the same newscast that MSNBC does, but you do it on YouTube. It should still be like, ew, bye. I'm going to go watch someone else. But somehow, They're shattering records somehow, and I can't tell you. I can't tell you how. I can't tell you why. All I can say is my personal opinion. I don't believe it. I just don't.
I say they're propped up. These guys are basically. It's like catching Jeffrey Dahmer leaving the gay club covered in blood. He can't tell you shit. You ask him like he can't talk his way out of shit, so he just runs away.
Yeah, I agree. And guess what? These guys don't have the thing that Pac-Man was supposed to, like, on the surface image of, I'm a progressive who likes Bernie Sanders. All right, he had that going for a bit. Then war came out. Like, war happened, and then he had to fucking say, like, yeah, I support this war. I'll sell all the narratives of the U.S. government, the U.S. State Department. I'll sell all the narratives to support these wars, essentially. And it's like, damn, you don't look like a real like the typical Bernie supporter. You're supposed to be like anti-war and all that stuff. But these guys, they don't even have that sheen to them. That little waxy sheen, shininess to them. Laminated fucking bullshit. Laminated cardboard. They don't even have that. But somehow, they're the biggest podcast in the world, I guess. Anyways, let's keep going. Here we go. I'm wrecked.
Some of them do have money coming in. They have sponsorships, etc. I've chosen not to take sponsorships for the show because I want to be able to speak more freely. And so you're seeing what is happening.
Yo, Coca-Cola, Pepsi, Mountain Dew. You want to sponsor me, bro? I'll do it. I'm gonna say whatever the fuck I want to say though. But if you want to give me money, bro, I'll do it. Fund me. I'll do it. It ain't stopping me.
Get some Red Bulls. I could use some of those.
Yo, damn, who would be like? Damn, I keep forgetting her fucking name. No, I forgot her name. It's at the fucking tip of my tongue. Fuck. The tall, hot blonde chick I'm in love with. What's her name?
That's like a list of 1,000 people, man. You got.
No, she's like conservative. She's like middle aged, and everything's dropping, you know. But she still looks sexy as fuck to me.
Christine Levitt?
No, she's younger than me, bro.
What was she on? Like,
fuck, she's like the typical conservative woman. Fucking blonde chick.
She on Tim Dillon?
No, she's on like Bill Maher and shit like that. Whatever. Point is, she can fund me today. My message
Megyn
won't
Kelly?
change. No, although she works too. Sorry. Anyway, either whatever. If you guys want to fund me, please go ahead. I mean, I'm not going to change what I do, but if you want to give me money, free money, I'll take it, bro. Send it this way. Anyways, here we go. Shout out to Coca-Cola and Pepsi.
Right? Imagine if during Biden's
Shout out to those
presidency,
teeth rotters.
if every video, every day, all I did was put Biden on a thumbnail and complain about Joe Biden. And if you look through my content, you
That
won't
Jimmy
see
Dore?
that. Yes, I was critical of Biden during his administration, but you will not see anything like this, where you just go through all the videos, Biden. There's so much news that's happening in the world, like where people are literally losing their jobs, which I've talked about recently, factory workers being laid off, you know, like a number of things that are happening. And the sole focus is Donald Trump. They are feeding into what I guess people would call
slop.
That opposite side of Joe Rogan. They are trying to let me get the liberals who hate Donald Trump, and they're just giving the people what they want. I call it audience dumping. They're dumping in a particular content that they know is getting a lot of views and the audience wants to see. The problem is they're leaving out so many other things.
It's slop for dumb fucking pigs. Just call it what it is, Sabby. But once again, I get it. You can't say those things. You may not be beholden to Pepsi or Mountain Dew, but maybe your audience you are. I mean, I'm a little bit, you know, I say P word sometimes, but I want to call him a pussy. But I say P word because Amy's Catholic, you know. Anyways, let's keep.
We can't use cunt.
I say cunt all the time. She says nothing about it. You know what? I keep saying it. And Amy's Catholic, so, I got to listen. Anyways, here we go.
Let's continue.
She's like, I was trying to watch this with my mom, and you keep
congressional
cursing.
Republicans, two are about Bernie Sanders' Midwest speaking tour.
I talk.
Now, the titles scream in all caps with plentiful exclamation points, and the thumbnails feature additional exclamatory
Looks like Tim Pool's content.
phrases
That's Tim Pool's
in
video.
tabloid-like bright yellow lettering. In their defense,
Tim Pool does red.
Quite standard on.
I will say, I think a lot of us use yellow letters. A lot of us use the yellow letters, but to his point.
Sabby, don't make me do this. Wait, I don't want to lose the video. No, my mouse is broken, so I have to right click like this.
Yeah.
Sabby.
Hey, pussy. What's wrong? What's wrong with pussy?
It's P word. Sabby, your thumbnails.
It's pussy.
It's P
It's
word.
vagina, bro.
Sabby. Did Nathan J. Robinson figure it out too, man? Are you caught in the web now? Did he fuck you up? Just to brag about it. Here's my thumbnails, okay? See, look, I'm no better. YouTube Studio, fuck it. YouTube Studio. Content.
Editing's hard, bro.
Bro, thumbnails are easy, bro. They're easy as shit. Cause it's just an image, bro. Entire videos, that's where shit gets rough. But one day, okay, so
Should I ask my priest if I'm allowed to say pussy?
just say P word. Don't be a pussy. Just say P word. Okay?
P word.
There you go.
But what's wrong with pussy?
P word might be cooler. It's kind of like punk rock a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
I like the word and the concept.
All right, you know what? I'm going to do a social experiment. I'm going to start putting yellow lettering, yellow text in my thumbnails. But it's going to say stupid shit, but it's just going to be yellow. It's going to be like, oh my God, like yellow. Or the annexation of Puerto Rico will be like my thumbnail writing. It has nothing to do with the video, but it's in yellow, bro. Might do that.
You should do like one picture, like you won't believe this, with a picture of Alex Jones looking all red.
E equals MC, that's just nonsense. E equals MC squared, just nonsense in the thumbnail writing. See what happens. Whoa, it's in yellow though. Let me click on this. Can you imagine? All right, whatever. All right, here we go. Sabby Sabs had to do the dribble step back. Like, yeah, wait a minute. Listen, yellow's not the worst thing to use for thumbnails. I know I use them. I use them too. It's the meta right now. Sabby's got wrecked by her own shit. Here we go. She had to cut them off.
Point is becoming more of a standard.
YouTube to use that format. Oftentimes they have an arrow pointing to Trump or a picture of something he's done, and representative video titles include Trump in full.
Those are lazy thumbnails, by the way.
Collapse as he quickly ruins everything. Falling apart, Donald. 1.1 million views. Trump.
I don't believe their view count. I don't believe it.
As attacks backfire. Total retreat. More humiliation. Trump says, "Shut up about eggs."
All right, there's another. That's not the same chick, but Laura Ingraham. She can spank me and yes, fund me. I will accept all funds from Laura Ingraham. I will actually shut up and dribble if she funds me. I'll do it. Anyways, here we go.
As he golfs on
Saturday. You don't think these right-wing chicks are fucking sexy, bro? They're sexy.
Pause here for a second. You know what you don't see?
Middle-aged goddesses.
With everything that's happening in the world, I don't see anything about Gaza.
Don't worry, Sabby. You can spank me too.
Oh.
I think you're married.
I don't see anything about Gaza. I don't see anything about Israel. I don't see anything.
Exactly,
I don't see
Sabby.
Geopolitics. So they're staying away from that. They're staying away from the Gaza situation, probably because, some people consider it to be taboo. I don't know about you, but I consider a genocide to be a big deal.
I assume Sabby's going to go with the narrative or the idea that, well, the Democrats and their administrations are equally as guilty in regards to those particular topics as the Republicans are. As rambunctious and, overt Trump is, doing it secretly, still the same result. dead children, dead grandmas, dead grandpas, dead moms and dads and uncles and aunties, all dead. Non-combatants. They don't carry weapons around. These are innocent people killed all over the fucking world. And both sides do the same fucking thing. And because of that, guys like the Midas Touch or Tackman or these other motherfuckers, man, they can't cover those stories. Because it'll, like, if they go over it for one side, that means if the Midas Touch guys made a big deal about Trump and whatever topic, whatever foreign policy topic, right? Where, like, people are dying in mass or the U.S. is bombing in mass. If they cover those stories for a long time and people are like, damn, you guys are really good on foreign policy. And then a Democrat comes in and all of a sudden they stop covering foreign policy, they're going to look like fucking idiots. Thus, just don't cover it at all. Leave it alone. Don't touch it. Because maybe even in fact, they might agree on the same foreign policy style shit. Maybe not how you announce it. They may disagree about that. Like, how do you announce you're going to blow up a bunch of people? They may disagree about that. But doing it itself, the actual action, the Democratic Party has been all in favor of that shit for as long as I understand the Democratic Party to be in existence. Just keeping it real.
It's one of two things. Either they'll ignore it, or they'll cover it in the most happy way possible. Look at how gay and happy Jolani is.
You saw this fool meet Macron. Was it
Yeah.
today or yesterday? Right?
Yeah, democracy as women are disappearing in Syria and they're shooting the sons of people of the Alawites. How happy! Great democracy.
My mind was blown with that. I was like, "There's no." I thought this fool was just gonna like sit in his little throne in Syria while Israel eats up territory. He's just gonna sit there and that's it. This fool is actually doing a world tour, and he's getting away with it. They're letting it happen in front of our faces. An Al Qaeda type leader, or actually, he was officially Al Qaeda, right? Now he's brand changed to something else. Yeah, God.
Not only was he Al Qaeda, he was like one of Osama bin Laden's Padawans.
And BFFs would Baghdadi till something, I guess, fucked them up or something. They had someone cheated at Uno and he got mad about it. They separated. But guess what? It's still the same, different face on the same fucking donkey, essentially. Or should I say tail?
I don't know. The thing that always
Whatever.
The thing that's driving me mad is like for years and years, you'll always hear these stories about like, oh, Gaddafi's killing protesters and shit like that, like stuff that we can't, like, sometimes we can verify, sometimes it's true or not, and they'll say it, and that's the reason we go to war. Like, but you have these dudes, these ISIS dudes, using their own cell phones, bursting into people's houses, recording like, I'm killing this guy, I'm killing this dude. Like you can see it. They're not hiding it. It's the guy doing the murder who's like, I'm here to rape and kill you, and then they're still like, bring this guy to France.
These dudes are on straight up wanted lists until they take over Syria. Now they're off the wanted list. You make, like, I'm telling you, be as dumb as you want to be. If you fall for this shit, you're this is some next level shit of dumbness. If you look at the information, like, it is what it is. But most people, let's be real, the information's hidden from them, especially like maybe like by like Midas Touch people, where they don't bring up these topics at all. Meanwhile, it's the most blatant form of corruption. Forget about Trump, wearing white on Labor Day. How about like the children that he blows up daily? Not once in a little bit of while, but almost like damn near daily that he's a part of. And that never gets brought up by these fucking guys, bro. And I guarantee you, the older people that watch like mainstream news, if they heard that, they'd be like, yo, fuck this guy. They'd be so pissed. Right? I'm pretty sure. But they don't hear about it. They don't get those information. That information never finds them. Now you have fools out here trying to trick the younger generation into that shit, into that mindset. Like, that can't be allowed to happen, man. Straight up. It just can't. But, it is what it is.
I don't know. It was always weird to me. I think I said that before with the story in Libya, where like you have these openly dudes who like I want to kill black people, like openly. It's like their slogan and shit like that.
Oh
And
yeah.
you can still cover that shit up. It's ridiculous. It's not black and white, not mixed, not like maybe I want to kill black people. It's like this is my logo.
Fuck my life. Oh man. Too much compromising, I think, happens in these circles. But all right, here's more Sabby Sabs. Good point by Sabby. I actually looked through it. They don't actually cover those topics, especially when there's genocides happening a lot of times around the world. But the most in-your-face, blatant, most news coverage, genocide on your live stream shit in Israel and in Gaza, right? Most blatant genocide shit happening right now in the world. Like broadcasted. Somehow these guys don't find time to really cover that, and that's absolutely bizarre. Absolutely bizarre. But
I got the Israeli officials open too about that because I brought the Libya thing, but don't the Israeli officials say fucked up shit like that too all the time? Like I want to.
Oh yeah.
I want them completely gone. Like they're open with that shit too. You know, we almost never see those statements. That's why I forgot what they actually said because it's been so long. But I know they've said shit like I want you all gone or we're gonna eliminate you all. That's like the officials. It's not like some random dude at a coffee shop. It's like Netanyahu and shit.
Oh yeah. I just did a video of Smoltrich, the finance minister, blatantly saying like 1.5 to 2.2 million Gazans that we want them to go. Blatantly saying ethnic cleansing, but the actions are actually saying we will kill you all until you run away. We will keep killing you until we find some way for you to run away. Otherwise, we'll keep killing you. And that's been the daily thing. 60 here one day, 100 the next day, 200 the next day, 50 the next day. Like, perpetual killing. Not to mention the people that are just starving to death. Or people they haven't found yet under the fucking rubble. Daily. It's so brazen and blatant. And somehow these guys that don't like Trump so much cannot figure out how to bring that up. It's weird, isn't it? That's standstill bizarre.
I remember a long time ago I was watching a video about like an Israeli soldier talking about his fun assaulting a little girl, and I was like, Jesus Christ! And in my mind, I was like, no wonder he feels so confident saying this. Nothing's gonna happen to him.
Bro, the brazen crimes are so brazen that you might actually miss out on all the other crimes that are happening. There's so much shit happening. Name a category, and that crime is probably happening. Rape confirmed. Murder confirmed. Trying to hide and bury up the murder confirmed. Bombing confirmed. Bullets by snipers confirmed. Starvation confirmed. Cutting off water, electricity confirmed. All of them confirmed. And yet,
you can't use prisoners to blow up. What they were doing, like they had the prisoners walk into the mines, like
human shields, confirmed, confirmed. I mean, I'm telling you right now, people who don't realize what they're like. I'm telling you right now, you're living in the middle of a blatant Holocaust, blatant, in our lifetimes. I can't believe it, and it's still not for these guys a big enough story.
Even what is the? Well, remember I brought up before. I think I put it in the comments one time where they raped that prisoner in I think they said he was a Moss. I think he was confirmed a Moss, and I was like, that doesn't really matter. You can't stick rods up somebody's ass, even if he's a prisoner. That's illegal. So that's what, because they always use the excuse of Hamas. That's Hamas who did it. I was like, even if he's Hamas, even if it's Hitler himself, and you raped him, I was like, you can't do that.
Well, there's supposed to be fucking court hearings to figure out what you do, but they're not. They're trying to skip over that, and they're destroying all the evidence.
Court hearing would be like, okay, I therefore sentence you to rape.
That wouldn't happen. But Douglas Murray will say, well, that's just war. That's just war. Because he's Douglas Murray. And Douglas Murray is a Douglas Murray. But let's continue. Here we go. I'm already wrecked. My stomach hurts now. Here we go.
Staying away from that, because you can also criticize Democrats for that as well, because the genocide happened under Joe Biden. It started under him. It's continuing under Trump, but it started under Joe Biden. Notice you don't see anything about that. Notice you don't see anything here about all of the things that I've covered with the legal.
By the way, I went over Tim Pool's content where he had Max Blumenthal and Scott Horton from antiwar.com, right? He had these guys on when Biden was a part of the genocide happening. But after that, where are these guys at? Where'd they Timmy, bring them back on. This is the perfect time to bring these guys back on, because we are in the midst of like the conclusion of a straight up genocide. Bring them on, Timmy. What's going on? Bring them back. No, I need to sell that Trump is a anti-war. Loser. Here we go.
Legal situations, right? Like, I don't see anything about the Epstein accuser who just was found dead. Don't see that, right? I don't see anything about Diddy. Oh, that's probably because one of them interned for Diddy. Follow the dots, ladies and gentlemen. They're not really focusing much on corruption.
Sabby.
It's just, let's just go after Trump. Rah, rah, get him. And that's it. I said this again. If I did this, if I had these videos under Biden's administration and it was just nothing but Biden stuff, me just totally Biden, I would expect you to have issue with what I was doing as well, because it's audience dumping.
I would hope so.
That's really what this is. It also misleads the viewers, and it makes.
Also, Sabby, I think you need to really consider that these fools are view botting. I just want that in the narrative. I think Sabby should consider that. Like, maybe their audience aren't real, but yet they're going to steal headlines as being the most popular this or that because of possible view botting. I'm just saying. But here we go.
Makes them think that everything that's wrong is solely because of Donald Trump, and not solely because of the billionaire class, not solely because of the elites, not solely because of the military industrial complex, because of Wall Street. They're not leading you up the ladder so that you can see the real threat exists at the top. Now, I criticize Donald Trump on this show as well, but you don't see me doing a video, like all these videos, Trump, every day, yada, 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 because it gives the audience the impression that it's solely this person and only this person alone. And it's not.
Now, here's the thing. You have Sabby, I get what she's saying. I understand what she's saying, but she has no right to try to move the audience in any direction. You should just say what you think. And if they move because of what you think, they believe you or they trust you or whatever the fuck, then that's on them. That's the way, in my opinion, content should be made. It should be just free of, like, you're just being yourself and you're saying what you think. And if you happen to cover 20 straight Trump videos in a row, fine. The problem is, I don't think these Midas Touch guys are authentically doing that. I think they're full of shit. I think they're view botting, and I think they're selling a narrative. That's what I think they're doing. Or they're selling a counter to a narrative in order to rope those guys in and then sell them something different down the line, right? Later on in years, they're like, okay, now Democrats in office, and look, they're doing the same shit that Trump was doing, but we won't talk about that, right? Because we funneled you all back into the Democratic Party to stop the big bad Trump MAGA guys, right? Even though it's not going to be Trump, it's some other guy, right? It's J.D. Vance or Donald Trump Jr. or whatever, Byron Trump, whoever, right? They'll sell that as their narrative when they're not actually authentically being like, yo, Trump is bad in every fucking video. That's okay to do if you're doing it authentically. I just don't think they are. I don't believe them. So Sabby, sorry, you have no jurisdiction over someone else's mind, morally, in my humble opinion. But if you're just being yourself and covering what you think is interesting or what you think is the most important thing to talk about for you, that's fine. That's 100% fine. It's just these Midas Touch guys, I don't believe them. I don't think they're doing that. I don't think they're doing that because they care so much. Trump is such a big topic. Like, this is so important. I need to talk about this. I don't think so. I think it's a concerted effort to work in tandem with the Democratic Party, and they're probably getting paid, boosted, whatever, right? What's a awesome way to fucking let's be real. What's an awesome way to launder money or funnel money to someone's bank account? Instead of paying them directly, you pay them in view bots. Thus, their viewership and YouTube can pay them through ad revenue. Boom. Our hands aren't on it. They're just taking money from viewers, right? From viewer retention and advertisements in regards to that. We'll even set up fake accounts to fucking maybe send some super chats your way. Boom. Easy ass way to funnel money to people. I'm sorry for saying it, but that is a possibility in my mind. And right now, these fools are on that side of it to me. Until I figure out differently, I could believe it about these Midas Touch guys. It is what it is. We'll keep you paid by making sure you have an audience that actually isn't an audience. And we'll desperately try to make sure you get a real audience, right? We'll try to send people your way. Like, it is what it is, man. Like, I actually consider that as a possibility. But, all right, here we go. Let's keep it rolling. Hey, man, I'm just throwing shit out there. Forgive me.
Lobby interest groups.
It is what it is.
APAC, Blue Cross Blue Shield, all these different companies that lobby and control politicians in Congress. That is a big part. And I would say most of the problem, the corporate money and electoral politics, but they're not going to criticize that because they're supposed to be the liberal version of Joe Rogan. And what they're trying to get you to do is just say all the problems that you're seeing that's happening right now is just because of Donald Trump. That's dangerous because you're leading people down. You're leading people down, I think, shit creek. Like seriously. Because and that's what people will walk away with. They'll say all these things are happening only because of Donald Trump. And you can criticize and you can talk about Donald Trump, which I do as well. But he's not the only factor. In fact, he's not even at the top of the freaking pyramid. Let's continue.
Trump soiling himself saga gets worse. New details. Secret doctor visit? Trump in panic after caving like a coward.
That's hilarious. Trump soils himself. See, like, Nathan J. Robbins is like, he's mocking the shit out of you because your shit is trash. It's trash, it's garbage, it's slop, it's below slop, it's nothing. It's evaporated slop. It's dry ass slop. It's grains at this point. It's nothingness.
She's back, Donald? Jesus Christ. To do what?
To destroy him with facts and logic. Anyways, here we go.
He always caves. Trump wakes up in terror and screws up more. Trump quickly folds to Canada as reality sets in. Very fatigued, Trump holds disaster midday presser. Trump glitches out in public as his life falls apart.
Real criticisms,
now, Democrats have long been looking for their own answer to Rogan after realizing how influential podcasters like Rogan, Theo Vaughn, and Lex Friedman are. Some Democrats are making contrived efforts to get in touch with the everyman, such as by talking about sports more. Michelle Obama has recently started an extremely boring and so far unsuccessful podcast.
What are we doing?
Midas Touch, Democrats appear to have found.
Just learn how to talk shit. Like, simple. But you know what? I'm not going to give them the secret juice. I'm not giving them that, okay? I just say, like, well, Rogan's an idiot. Theo Vaughn, I don't know about him. Lex Friedman is a robot. Uninteresting. I don't care about that. Like, I move on. That's it. That's all you need to do. Move on with your lives. But nah. Anyways, here we go.
Found their best hope for a popular anti-Trump media outlet. Although
I've proven Rogan's a fucking
actually
idiot.
Makes
I've proven
Rogan
it.
look somewhat cerebral and curious by comparison. Rogan will interview philosophers, physicists, psychologists, and even archaeologists for 3-hour-long conversations. Now, granted, he also interviews cranks ranging from people who believe in Atlantis to anti-Semitic conspiracy theorists to Alex.
Why are you giving Ian Carroll shine? The other guy, Graham Hancock. I think he just says interesting things. I don't think he's batshit crazy or anything. This guy is full of shit. This guy is blatantly full. I think Ian Carroll is full of shit, and this guy is extra full of shit. So I'll blame Rogan for those, but Rogan's an idiot. He's actually dumb.
No, he's full of vitamins.
I mean, how else do you get all these different random personalities on this show unless you're a host who doesn't question anyone, lets them say what the fuck they want, and they could sell anything. They could sell, like, hey, guys, sniff paint. They might be able to, like, sell that on the Rogan podcast. Hey, guys, everyone, sniff paint. Like, actually get spray paint and spray it into your actual nasal passages. Do that. Like, he might actually be able, like, someone might be able to actually do that. That's how dumb Rogan is. That's my problem with Rogan. Is that he's so stupid that you could be this king dingling, like, literally stitched on your fucking suit. I work for the CIA and I'm here to start a war. Could be on his fucking suit in lettering, and Rogan would be like, oh, wow, it must be so crazy working for the CIA, man. Whoa. Because he's a fucking idiot. That's my problem with Rogan. But at the same time, if you want all these random celebrity guest motherfuckers on there, you have to be able to be like, hey, man, I'm not a danger to you. I am non-threatening. I am not a danger to you. I will not ask pushback questions. I will not get in your way. Sell your narrative, sell your t-shirt, sell your hormone pill, sell your scientific theory, sell your whatever, your anything. Sell it on my channel, and it's okay. Just make sure you're rich, famous, and all that shit.
He could have Bernie Sanders and Trump. Bernie after that thing with the flag where he was just looking away at his rally, and Trump the day after he released those fake Epstein files. He could have them on the same show at the same time, and it'd be fine.
I mean, he'd make it convenient. Like, oh man, listen, Bernie, you and Trump, you guys don't agree with each other, okay? So you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna separate you guys by like 3 or 4 hours, right? One will come on. You and your security crew, you'll come on, you'll do your show, and then you'll get out of here, and then Trump and his security crew will come in, and then he'll do his. I want to make sure that everyone's happy, okay? Like, you fucking pussy, you dumb fuck Rogan. Get him the fuck out. Like, he should be done with for me. He is done with for me as far as on the intelligence level. But whatever. There's a reason why his show's popular, because he'll let it. I don't know. It's the appearance of being the everyday man, just finally meeting Mel Gibson that one day. It's like, man, now I'm talking to Mel Gibson. Holy shit, what a life! And it's just Mel Gibson selling de-aging pills or some shit like that, right? It's like, what the fuck? This is a chip. Ask him about the, ask him about what he told his girl to get raped by a pack of niggers, man. Ask him about that shit, bro. That's what I want to hear about. But Rogan's not going to do that, bro. He's going to pretend it doesn't exist and keep it moving. But Rogan knows. He fucking knows. He's made fun of it before. He's been on Opie and Anthony. They've made fun of it before. He knows. He just knows to keep his fucking mouth shut if he wants, a podcast with Alex Jones, and then the next day Mel Gibson, the next day Donald Trump, the next day Bernie Sanders, the next day whoever, right? In order to have that consistency of guests, you have to be able to be a fucking wet blanket. Or not even a wet blanket, a paper towel that gets pushed around and nudged in every direction. Man, what's it like to kill like 6 million Jews, Hitler? What's it like? Wow. Is that okay? Is that cool? Wow.
Mel Gibson could tell him, "Oh, pack of niggers, that's my favorite cigarette brand."
Jesus Christ.
That's amazing.
Anyways, the point is, Rogan gets guests for not asking hard-hitting questions. That's why he gets guests. If he actually asks hard-hitting questions, 89% of these fools don't appear on the show anymore. I'll keep it real. They won't appear anymore.
Bernie and Trump wouldn't go.
No, they wouldn't go. They wouldn't. But anyways, all right, let's keep it moving. Here we go.
Alex Jones, and viewers may find it hard to tell the cranks from the experts because Joe Rogan does little research, wades into subjects he knows nothing about, and says things that are dangerously wrong. Nevertheless,
That's
Rogan
fine,
at least shows some
if it's
basic
real.
curiosity about the world of ideas. Now, the world of Midas Touch, by contrast, starts and ends with Donald Trump's presidency. What stupid thing did Donald Trump say today? How did he embarrass himself? Who gave him a brutal rhetorical smackdown? And even though it's targeted at viewers who think Trump is dumb, the content is at a remarkably low intellectual level, by which I mean that it
Holy
doesn't
fuck.
dive seriously.
Nathan, call it dumb. Call it dumb. It's not strikingly high intellectually. Call it dumb then. Call it dumb. And actually, more dumb than Rogan's content somehow. I don't know how you do that one. Good luck with, like, that's a phenomenon on itself. Or on its own. But just call it dumb. Anyways.
Into topics like healthcare, criminal punishment, foreign policy, and inequality.
What did I tell you? They stay away from
Tell him,
corruption.
Sabby. Tell him no, Sabby.
And you have to ask yourself, who is propping up Midas Touch, right? Again, they interned for Hillary Clinton. So the Democratic Party, this is a channel that they would obviously say, yeah, we need to let's push them up in the algorithm. Because they're definitely just, bam, going after Trump.
Are you going there, Sabby? Go there, Sabby.
They already had those connections prior to this.
Go there,
that
bro.
is very important, people.
Yep,
Look at who the connections were prior. That actually matters. So
I agree.
what is their goal? Their goal is to convince, I would say, especially some of those independent voters, to convince them that, oh my God, Trump is so awful, and this is why you should support the status quo Democrat politician.
Possibly.
They're not going to be the ones that's telling people, yeah, we need to get out there for universal health care, et cetera. To Nathan's point, they don't talk about any of those issues. And it gives people the impression that all the problems that you see right now are so.
It's funny. All I needed was like a couple minutes of seeing these fools, and that was all figured out already. Like, oh, these guys are full of shit. I'm out of here. Anyways, sorry, I'm bragging. Sorry. Here we go.
They're not going to be the ones that's telling people, yeah, we need to get out there for universal health care, et cetera. To Nathan's point, they don't talk about any of those issues. And it gives people the impression that all the problems that you see right now are solely because of one person. And while there's many things that you can criticize Donald Trump for, we cannot sit here and pretend like some of these problems didn't exist prior and haven't existed for years. The healthcare system in this country has been an issue and a problem for years. That didn't start under Donald Trump or anything like that. That's why they don't talk about it. The Israel-Gaza situation was a problem before Donald Trump. The genocide started before Donald Trump. That's why they don't talk about it. You don't see them talking about AIPAC, which is controlling a lot of politicians in Congress. You don't see them talking about the ADL and how they went after said politicians and had them basically lose their seat.
Hey, Sabby, listen. Let me tell you something. The Midas Touch is about to be my most viewed channel coming very soon. I'm going to start watching these fools, reacting to their shit. Hopefully shorter videos, not some fucking 2-hour-long things, because, you know, I have brain cells and I don't want to lose them, right? But for sure, I plan on diving into this Midas Touch motherfuckers who I'd never heard of until of recent. Let's be honest. Did not really hear about these fools. I think Kyle mentioned them or someone else mentioned them. That's how I heard of them. We're like, oh my god, these guys are just gaining views. I think as but they were like kind of teaming up about it, or being nice about it, or saying like, hey, these guys are doing all right work. They're working on our side. Was kind of like the idea I got from that. But I smell sus. I see sus. I'm calling sus out. It is what it is.
You think if Trump had a stroke, how long do you think it would, like, if Trump had a stroke and died tomorrow, how long do you think it would take them before you'd stop seeing Trump thumbnails in their videos?
I mean, out of respect to the family, we have, we're gonna start fresh here.
Respect for the family. Today's thumbnail is a thumbnail of Barron Trump and not Donald.
Now they're like, all right, so you know, JD Vance changed his name like 40 times. Let's do 10 straight videos about it. It's like, wait a minute. Hey guys, Donald Trump died, but there's still wars and genocides happening. What are we gonna do about that? No, JD Vance wore the wrong tie on Thursday. Here's exclusive coverage of it. It's like, holy fuck you losers.
And then JD dies and they're just lost.
It's like, all right, fuck, what do we do now? Just bring back old foes and shit.
They gotta fire dude. Like they gotta fire like their special effects dude. Fuck man, I made like 40 of these thumbnails.
All right, here we go.
You don't hear them talking about that. You see them avoid corruption.
I just peeped that, bro. They got like a full stock footage of fucking thumbnails ready to go. They just have like Amazon warehouse like amount of photos of fucking Trump thumbnails ready to go. It's like, fuck, what do we do with these now? We spent so much money on them. Yellow text and weird faces from Donald Trump. What do we do with this? And arrows pointing. Fuck, what do we do now? That's hilarious. All right, here we go.
You see them avoid talking about capitalism, and you see them avoid talking about the everyday average working person. That should tell you everything.
Because you people mean nothing.
As long as you can convince your audience that the problem is just one person, why would they think that billionaires being at the top is an issue? Why would they think that it's the real problem here is that you have all these people that are at the bottom and the small group of people at the top with concentrated amount of wealth? Why would they think that? Why would they even look into that? Why would they look into systemic issues? Why would they look into where funding comes from? Why would they say, oh, why is this politician doing this thing in the Democratic Party and you're a
money in politics?
Why would they do that? Why would they do that when Midas Touch has convinced them that Donald Trump is the sole problem and the only problem?
Now, I will say, listen, I don't agree with the whole you take money from this person or that person thing. I understand why that's a thing, because it's like it's evidence, right? That makes sense. It's just I like the idea of like it doesn't matter what reason you're doing the corruption. I'm pointing out corruption wherever I see it. And I'm not saying Sabby is not attuned. Like she'll call out AOC or Bernie or anyone that I've seen so far. Maybe not in the most deep divey way, but it feels like she does. Whoever it is, she'll call them out for whatever reason, right? As far as I understand. So yeah, I think we need to say fuck this idea of focusing on money in politics and focus on corruption in politics. And as soon as they commit one infraction and there's no real good reason behind it, get the fuck out right now. Get the fuck out immediately. But people don't move that fast, man. They move in politics, they move in years. Years and years and years. For them to make a left turn or a right turn takes years to fucking happen. Why not? Like, for me, forgive me if it sounds like I'm bragging, but it is what it is. It feels like I make those turns immediately. Like, okay, that's full shot, turned. Next thing. What's next? Let's keep it moving. Because for the most part, these guys do not make arguments for why they're doing the corrupt thing. They just fucking do it. They just do it. With no real rhyme or reason, no real excuse, no alibi, no nothing. They just fucking do it. And they hope you forget. If they let it like linger on for weeks and they hope you forget about it. It is what it is. They do that. And it's just like, damn guys, move faster. These guys are actually moving at such slow speeds, but we should be outflanking them by miles because we should be moving ahead of them. But instead, we wait and we wait and we wait. And we're like, well, maybe they had a reason maybe they might do this. Maybe there's a 5D chess plan. Who knows? Let's trust the plan, maybe. Maybe we should trust the plan. Let's see what happens. And we end up getting fucked. But that's politics, I guess. Slow, fucking oatmeal brain version of thinking called politics. But all right, here we go.
It's basically like the National Enquirer for Trump haters. Now, Midas Touch is also constantly offering Democratic viewers reassurance that Trump is imploding. It's all unraveling, spinning out of control. Fox is panicking.
Donald Trump's speech in Atlanta, Georgia on Saturday was a total disaster. This speech was an utter disaster. You see the crowd clearing out early. Donald Trump continued.
If you hear or see this guy and you're not like, that's a dweeb. Wait. Who the fuck is this guy? Who's this fucking loser? Who's this? If you're not like that, you already lost the game. I'm sorry. I make fun of people's voices and their looks and shit like that. This dude smells full of shit to me. I can't help it. I'm just like, he sounds like he wants to sell me a car right now. I tell you, there's only 47,000 miles on this thing, man. Trust me. Buy this fucking car. I'm like, no, dude. I don't trust you. I don't trust this fucking guy to sell me a car, bro. I don't. Get this fool out of here. I'm sorry, bro. It is what it is. I'll tell you guys right now.
Fall any minute now.
Deep down, you know what's happening right now? The Republicans are turning on each other right now. Now, stick around for the next 30 minutes. You'll hear the exclusive story about this. I'm like, I'm leaving, and I make sure, like, my future children never see you ever again. Like, never see your face. Like, they never see your content ever. I'll hide them from this stuff, bro. That's how weird this fucking dude comes on. Whatever. It is what it is. Sorry. They can't count. I know that's not politics. That's too much, intuitive.
Just remind you of those dudes who keep saying China will fail every 5 minutes.
I just see this guy and I'm like, are you trying to sell me gold? You trying to sell me gold for my money, my real money and shit? Fuck you.
He's got instead of Trump coins, he's got fucking Biden coins.
It's like, yo, fuck out of here. Here we go.
To glitch and continue to glitch like this. Here's an example. Let's play it.
Is he not selling a car?
Apparently soiling himself.
He's selling you a car right now.
Releasing gas in a very uncomfortable way.
Indeed, Ben Meiselas himself says the channel is providing a comforting place. In doing so, they might be offering a false sense of security. Note that many of the podcasts...
I love that they branded it as progressive searching for an answer. Now, that meant something years ago, like, that I remember as something way different than that. It was kind of like, I guess, the Bernie wing or the AOC wing or the, hey, we don't like this mainstream Democratic Party, and obviously we hate Republicans. I think that was the narrative, I think. But now, I guess it's the Midas Touch. It's the car salesman is now the guy that you should be listening to. Here we go.
Might be offering a false sense of security. Note that many of the podcast's videos on Trump's implosions and humiliations were actually published before he defeated Kamala Harris in November, such as...
Real quick, Nathan, give up the corduroy suits, man. No more corduroy suits. Get rid of them. Wear something else. Here we go.
Wow, Trump crumbles during disastrous Arizona speech. Yeah. Trump humiliated in Michigan as real crowd is exposed. Trump makes catastrophic move in Sunday panic attack. All of those videos have millions of views. But today, after all this catastrophe for Trump, the right controls all three branches of government.
All three branches of government, and that points to something else, which is misleading the viewers. So those videos that existed prior to Donald Trump's win, I would say people who are watching Midas Touch were probably misled into thinking that there was no way in hell this guy was going to win the presidential election again.
Yeah.
But some of us with smaller platforms predicted not only that Donald Trump would win, but that he would win every swing state. I was one of those people. I predicted that and I was correct. And
I wasn't even making YouTube videos and I predicted that shit. I wasn't even paying attention to politics and predicted that shit. Culturally, you could see it. Like, there's a lot of dumb people. They bought into a dumb idea. They're being tricked by it right now. Eventually, they'll pay for it. But for now, they think that they're doing the right thing. And then they found out they weren't doing the right thing a couple weeks into his presidency. That's where we're at right now. There are some hanger-ons, right? There's hanger-ons still. There's people still gripping at the pant leg of Donald Trump right now. But most people are like, damn, is this guy full of shit, bro? Damn, he's full of shit, wasn't he? Fucked up again. Right? or like, damn, this is the first time I ever voted. I fell for this motherfucker. Fuck. So the shininess has dissipated. It's now done with. It is what it is, for the most part. But
I
initially,
won't say all dumb. I won't say all dumb. There were those dudes in Michigan who were talking about voting green, and they kind of got scared at the last moment because they kept believing Kamala was going to win. I still think. I mean, I'm not when I say not all dumb. It's still stupid in a way, but their fear was like, you're not listening to us as you murder our family. So we want to show you that we're serious and we don't fuck with you.
or a protest vote.
That's
I get
there
it,
was like this.
but I'm gonna call that dumb too, for me personally.
I say it's dumb. There was like this big thing going on about voting for the Greens. Most Muslims would vote for the Greens, and at the last minute, I think one of the organizers was asking like, "Why didn't you guys vote for Joe Stein?" He said like, "Oh, we thought Kamala was gonna win, and we want them to know they were serious." I still thought it was stupid, but I understood. They're like, "You're not listening to us."
Oh, they switched to Kamala, or are you saying Trump? They switched to.
They switched from Green to Trump.
Yeah, okay. So we're thinking of the same story. Okay, yeah. I've heard of that, and yeah, it's dumb. But a protest vote, knowing that they all suck, is different than I think Trump's going to save the world when he comes into office after I vote for him. That's they were dumb. They were dumb. They need to admit it that they were fucking dumb about that. And now it's like, fuck about who gives a fuck about being dumb or not? Like, fuck that. Now we move in a better direction from now on, right? But that doesn't usually happen in politics because it's this, once again, it takes years for it to make a left turn or a right turn. It takes years. When simple thinking people can just go left or right, whatever the fuck they need to do, right? I can turn wherever the fuck I want to. I can move around when I want to. I have freedom of movement. These fools will get caught up in a strategy that will take them 10 years in a certain path. It doesn't work out, and they're like, damn, I just wasted 10 years. And their solution? Let's waste 10 more years doing something else. Or doing the same thing in a different vein. It's just like, damn, man, you guys fucking dumb, bro. You're fucking stupid. I say that with love, though. Like, yo, you're fucking dumb. But, it is what it is. But anyways, yeah, I didn't pay attention to politics. I've been well aware of Joe Biden. I've been well aware of Donald Trump. I've been well aware of Kamala Harris. And I looked at it, I'm like, wait, the culture is just by watching movies and shit like that. The way everything's moving around, like, if you pick Kamala, bro, I'm wrecked. There's no way I saw her winning. No chance. But, yeah, It is what it is. Kyle told me Kamala's going to win by a landslide. I'm wrecked.
You knew it was bad when they started lying about her record about the locking up people for drugs. They had to go backwards. Like, that didn't happen.
Well, that was a thing from when Tulsi scorched her to planet Earth. Put her in a sunbeam and destroyed her in front of the nation, but then bowed down to Joe Biden.
Yeah, but the reason I bring that up is my family members were sending me stuff talking about like, no, it's not true. She didn't do this. And I was like, wait a minute. Why are you correcting this now? She got scorched like 5 years ago by Tulsi. Why are you trying to fix this shit now? Back then on the debate stage, she couldn't answer shit. Now it doesn't exist.
Oh man.
Reason why I was
my bad. It feels like anything you picked out of that, and if any of that ends up being a fail, if you picked any of these fools, if you stuck with Tulsi, you're a fool. If you stuck with Bernie, you're a fool. If you stuck with Biden, you're a fool. If you stuck with Trump, you're a fool. If you stuck with Kamala, you're a fool. Buttigieg, fool. Rubio, fool. Cruz, fool. Like all these people, like somehow, if you picked anybody of this whole conglomerate of motherfuckers running for the president during those, like, I guess 8 years or whatever, right? Or 10 to 8 years or whatever, you'd be in the losing seat no matter who you picked. All roads led to an L.
The Tiger King,
yeah.
The Tiger King never let me down.
I've seen all of that, by the way. Is there a second season of that?
I think it's just the one. I don't think there's more to go from that. Okay. But he never let me down.
Fair enough.
He seems like the most sane candidate out of all of them. Isn't that a terrifying thought?
I mean, no matter who you picked in that entirety of the elect, like you failed. There's no way around it. Every single remember the Democrats had like 40 fucking people on the debate stage. If you picked any one of them, you would have fucking lost. Or as far as like moral integrity, in my point of view, at least, like it'd be an L no matter what. They're all losses. They're all L's. You are fucked no matter what. No matter who you pick.
I'm under the illusion if Bernie won, we'd still be killing people and we still wouldn't have the healthcare.
Yeah, I believe so too. Maybe there's some sort of healthcare thing, but foreign policy was already well predicted. As soon as you see like Matt Duss in there as his foreign policy advisor, like, oh, okay, we're gonna walk the like really, really close to the Democratic Party line of foreign policy, like damn near there. And guess what? This fool Matt Duss and this fool Bernie Sanders are not getting in the way of CIA doing whatever the fuck they want to around the world, and thus they're going to respond to it like it's an organic event. That's what they're going to do. And it's like there'll just be more conflicts, more dead people, on and so forth. There was no trust from me in regards to his foreign policy. I had a little bit of hope for Tulsi on her foreign policy, but then she endorsed Biden in a certain way. I'm like, what the fuck are we doing? And her past shit, right, of partitioning Iraq into sections, like what they're doing right now with Syria. Let's be real. If this Giuliani guy is going around doing a world tour and shit, shaking hands with Macron and shooting, there's like clips of him playing like basketball or some shit like that, and like, bro, I'm telling you. So I'm like,
you read,
bro, they might partition that shit up to where like he controls the territory, the Kurds, or maybe Kurds or Turkey, maybe own a different part. Then there's the permanent, residents of the U.S. military bases there. then Israel moving up from south to north, slowly moving up, encroaching territory. Like that's a partitioned country. That's split between different factions, straight up. And it's like, damn, Tulsi, you should have known that would happen based on your shit from beforehand. But somehow, just mind blown. She just doesn't know what's happening anymore. Apparently, she forgot. I guess.
And be for real. Say they got rid of all the Alawites like they're trying to do right now. Say because they're saying we're not doing elections until like 2 years later. Say they're like, okay, we're done. Everybody is pretty much gone. Bernie would still shake that dude's hand.
There's a good chance. I want to be a peace president. Okay. Like fuck. By the way, with the Alawites and the Christians in Syria that are being slaughtered as we speak, right? If those guys were full-blown Al-Qaeda, ISIS, like, we love you, Jelani, we love you. If they got in his way, he would murder them. He'd kill them too. So it ain't about religion. It ain't about sectarian fucking whatever. It's about, are you in my way or are you not? Oh, you're in my way? Kill them now. Kill them now. And that's the way all world leaders behave. That's how they fucking move. There's blatant evidence that they move in that type of way. So, I'm wrecked. Nothing encapsulates that more than Joe Biden and Kamala Harris standing at applause for Donald fucking Trump. The guy that said they called the most evil man in United States human history, or whatever the fuck, the most corrupt guy of all time, right? Bullshit, man. These guys are all fakers, bro. And all right, let's keep playing. Thank you, Sabby, for pointing that out. What's up?
Meanwhile, just a small comparison. He said the most evil man in the world. Remember Aristide from Haiti?
Yes.
The most evil man in the world. They'll never charge Trump for anything real, not the killing of Soleimani, which is a real crime, and shit like that. Meanwhile, Aristide, who by all accounts so far seemed to actually care about bettering his country,
he can't get off an airplane. He can't get off an airplane. He's ousted, permanently ousted, no matter what.
You can never come back. And from all accounts, he seems to be like the least corrupt politician I could think of who actually cared about Haiti. And they're like, you ain't never coming back. I banished you from your own homeland.
I heard about this fool from the mid-2000s, and I never seen him without an airplane behind him in the background when he talks. Like, that's how, like, ousted that fool. Like they're like, sorry, we're gonna fuck your shit up if you touch land over here. We're gonna fuck your shit up. We're gonna try to subvert whatever you're doing. We'll subvert it, and we'll make sure you're the ousted president that's giving speeches from tarmacs over and over and over again. Like I'm exaggerating, but like that's straight up what I've seen of the guy. Is that he's just ousted permanently, seemingly. Hey, good.
With all the shit Trump does, they can't find a way to actually legit punish him for Soleimani. None of that shit like that. This dude, I will hunt you down to the end of the earth. You will be in hell, and I will still find a way to ban you from Haiti.
Straight up. But hey, man, don't democratically elect anyone if you're not the U.S. or one of these most powerful countries. Don't try to have democratic elections, man, or we're gonna fuck you. It is what it is. It's not your choice; it's our choice. We're the world policemen, and we need to protect you from yourselves. So whoever you vote for or support, we need to make sure they don't fucking make it there.
They don't bring that up now. I keep forgetting about that. Haiti doesn't even have a president they voted for. The dude who's in power right now is just from the last guy who got killed.
More selections. Man, oh man, oh man. I mean, the thing we just talked about right there. The average Trump voter has no fucking clue about any of that shit. Not a fucking peep. All they know about is like, do we go to war with Iran or not? Like that's their best guess of foreign policy. Or are we going to support Israel or not? Right? It's like that bottom tier level of foreign, like not realizing what this country has done. Not the people of the country, what these organizations and government bodies and all that shit have done all over the fucking world for a very long time. And it's just not even discussed as like a thing. It's really not. It's like people didn't think we were at war. I'm like, bro, we're bombing until I guess recently. We've been bombing Yemen every fucking day. Every fucking day we've been bombing them. Somalia's been being bombed too. All these fucking days have gone by where we're bombing them, and they're like, I won't move until Trump. Like, did we go to war with Iran? Then we didn't do nothing then. We didn't go to war yet. Like, dude, you're fucking fighting wars 24/7, bro. There's wars going on in Africa that U.S. soldiers are directly a part of. Directly. Not even through, like, on their remote-controlled drones. I mean, like, people on ground. Remember the story of the soldiers getting drowned by their own, because they drove their tank into a wrong spot and accidentally drowned themselves? It's like, well, what the fuck were they doing there? Like, wait a minute. What are you doing there? That ain't Fort Bragg, right? Or some shit in North Carolina or Texas or North Dakota or some shit like that. Like, no, these fucking fools are in the middle of the fucking swamp shit, driving tanks into it and dying from it. How the what the fuck? No one asked that question. They're like, what the fuck are they doing there? It's like, wait a minute. Why are you there?
And then you got the other side pretending like everything's new. When Trump was talking about like what is it, to Zelensky, like, you give us your resources and it will help you, even though it's not really help. You fucked up their country and you just using this shit. What do you think's going on in Africa with all that shit? That it's not new. Man. It's not new. It's not new. Give us your, like, the Congo's been fucked for years. It ain't getting no better.
I'm fucking wrecked, man. Shout out to Dustin Price, one of my subscribers. Dustin Price right there. One of my YouTube subscribers. We got crossover, me and Sabby. You know what I'm saying? Teammates. Black Power. All right, here we go.
Able to make that prediction is because, unlike Midas Touch, I'm not in those elite circles. I'm not in a Hillary Clinton circle, or I didn't intern for Hillary. I didn't intern for Diddy. Like, I'm not in those circles. I'm not a part of Dem establishment. Hell, I'm not even invited to an event that the Democrats or the Republicans are putting on. I'm not in those circles, right?
Yeah.
I talk to the people. As far as I know. I talked to the people on the street. I did a number of panels on this show
me too,
prior to the election. I sounded the alarm early on that Black people were going to be the cause of Kamala Harris to lose, and also Gaza. And it looks like I was correct about that, because she lost the Black vote. Now, she was able to win the Black female vote, but when you combine the Black female vote and the Black male vote, you will see that Kamala's numbers are less than Hillary's, Biden's, and Barack Obama's when it came to the Black vote. There were all.
Now, he seemed like a young guy in this Discord, young Black guy, telling me about like where his mind was at politically, and he's like, "Yo, we don't fuck with Kamala like that." Like he was speaking for a lot of people. I'm not saying he actually represented a lot of people, but he represented something. There's some people that that were thinking the way this guy was thinking, and he was like, "There's no way, like, nah, we don't rock with we rock with Trump because of the culture shit." That was a big reason for this guy. Not saying that's the way it is in reality, but his reason was about the culture shit. Like, yo, they're trying to fucking make everyone gay or something. Like, he's like, I think it was a twisted version of what actually happens in reality, but that's still that sentiment of culturally differences and all that shit. I think he was like, yeah, fuck this Kamala Harris chick, bro. She's trash. Trump will at least not make everyone gay or some shit like that, or not give women all the power and all that stuff. Like, he's coming from that like borderline manosphere shit. And guess what? Those fucking guys exist. They do. I think they're dumb, but it is what it is. And I even said some points to the guy where I'm like, yo, I'll say like X, Y, and Z about like, yo, this Trump guy does not give a fuck about you. And he conceded. He's like, yeah, you're probably right. I don't know enough. Maybe you're right. That's a good point. I never heard that before. But still, like, I wouldn't go to my way and be like, okay, so then go vote Kamala. That was not my end result. I'm not going to lie to someone. I'm not going to lie to this guy or anyone. I'm just going to be like, yeah. Not saying Kamala is the way to go, but definitely Trump is not some good guy. He's not some knight in shining armor, but man, he's full of shit. Culturally and politically, he's full of shit, in my opinion. And I think that's starting to be proven, basically. But,
did you ever get the shame around the election? They were trying to shame, like, the strategy was like black men. You saw like Obama come out saying, you men, you need to step up.
Fuck about Barack Obama. Fuck out of here.
No, but I'm just saying. I remember like that shit was like in my real life. That I actually saw that happen. There's an old man I know who I work with, and he was telling me I could see why he was saying this because all the news channels were saying, black men aren't coming out for Kamala, and I remember he asked me like, who you voting for, and I didn't want to tell him, and I was like, eventually he went me down like I hate them both, and he said like, oh, like why? It was like I don't really like the murder of children, and his response to me was, but abortion.
I mean, that's going to happen. Neither, like, once again, Trump ain't waging no war against abortion right now. He cares more if you complain about Israel than abortion. And let's be real. This guy probably paid for 20 abortions himself. Let's be honest. He's probably paid them en masse. So
my big thing was they're faking. They never solved abortion at all. So what does it matter?
Well, yeah.
And even so, I wouldn't sacrifice abortion for the murder of 1 million children somewhere else.
Well, it's like, yo, have people gotten like a real discussion about about any topic really? Have they gotten like real actual discussion about these things? I don't think so. It's always faux pod and fucking bullshit, man. It's dumb fuck expert who's not an actual expert versus dumb fuck expert who's not actually an expert. And that becomes the actual discussion about all this shit. And it's like, yo, this is bullshit, dude. Imagine someone like actually trying to find a cure for cancer, right? Where it's like, oh, let's bring all the best scientists in the world to come together at this round table, have a full discussion on live stream in front of everyone. Like, that'd be the real, like, actual thing, right? Be a bunch of people actually discussing it with each other, with test results, all that shit, with each other, right? But instead, it doesn't work out that way, does it? We don't get to see that shit, do we? So the same thing goes with any other big topic in the world. Like, motherfuckers don't actually sit around and talk about it in a realistic way. It's all bullshit. It's like a fucking wrestling, right? A storyline, a TV show. Like, we don't get actual real fucking discussion about this stuff. Like, God,
in reality,
imagine.
the conversation stays in the same place. You talk about the cure for cancer. In reality, it's like you put these scientists in a room for 20 years to talk about the cure for cancer. You come back 20 years later, and one scientist is arguing we should make the cancer bigger, and the other one's like, we should cure it. And meanwhile, you're like, where the fuck are your notes and shit like that? Like, oh no, we've just been talking about this for the last 20 years.
Want to hear something funny? Biden brought up curing cancer during his run in 2020, all right? And then Trump brought up curing
Oh,
cancer.
yeah, I remember that.
There, it's like, yo, wait a minute. Like, yo, there's not like what? It's scrambled egg brain fucking shit, man. It's actually frustrating, but man, I hope people one day figure it out. Or at the very least, you don't have to be a genius and figure everything out. Just know how to ask questions. That's it. Know how to ask questions. That is all I would ever ask of anyone. And don't move until you get an answer for something. Straight up. But
Do you remember Build Back Better World?
yeah, Build Back Better. Yeah,
no, not Build Back Better. Build Back Better World.
What the fuck is that? Is that different? What's that?
Yes. Build Back Better. It was supposed to be their because they were talking about the Belt and Road thing with China. Biden was like, "Oh, we're gonna counter that with Build Back Better World," and it failed so hard. I don't even think they were. The only thing they did was like make a logo and then quit.
That sounds more like a counter to MAGA than it does China anything. Like the Belt and Road Initiative or whatever. Yeah.
We're talking about China. But I just find it funny because I was like, damn, you couldn't even make a logo before you quit this talk about building roads in Africa or whatever.
I have a video I might do tomorrow where it's, I guess, the first televised interview of Joe Biden after everything, right? The most recent interview of his. And he's going to say something. What I've heard so far are certain things where it's like, it's like, dude, you are no different than this fucking guy in office. Like, not really. Not a real, actually significant, actual difference. But he might lie about certain things to make it look like he'd be different. But in reality, it's just him in the background clapping and applauding, just like Harris, for this orange fucking penguin. That's what Well,
Obama did the same thing recently, too. Didn't Obama have that speech? Like, if I did this stuff and I was just like, what are you talking about?
The only time Obama gets out of his chair to like really push things is to make sure Bernie Sanders doesn't win. Remember that? Remember that shit? When Bernie was kind of he's going higher and higher in the fucking polls, right? And Obama subverted the guy while he's running. And guess what? Bernie says not a fucking word about it, which makes you what? In my opinion, are you complicit, bro? Are you a part of this shit? You might as well be, because what you're doing is just complicit with what they're fucking doing. So get the fuck out. Like, leave.
Or to
Quit.
stop protests. Remember with the George Floyd thing when the NBA was going to protest,
Yeah.
and all of a sudden, where have you been?
Well, my good friend Adam Silver gave me a phone call, and he said, "Pull up your damn pants. We don't need any more swagging out here. No more bebopping and hula hooping. Pull up your damn pants."
The dude's in Martha's Vineyard on an island,
I know.
on an island in the middle of nowhere, and all of a sudden, like it's a fucking bat signal in the air, the Obama signal. He says, "Oh, they need me."
I've been hanging out with my friend George Clooney, and I realized there's trouble afoot. And pull up your damn pants. Pull up your goddamn pants. Barack Obama's for here. That's what he's for. For nothing. Trash. Guess what? Black voters who voted for Barack Obama, you need to give him up. Abandon him. Say, all right, we're past it. You're trash. Let's find someone legit, please, that cares about all human beings. Anyways, here we go. Let's try to finish
also,
this
the number of
video.
people that decided to sit
It's
the
definitely
entire
gonna be
thing
my
out
morning
because
release.
of Gaza. It was another thing. And I just feel like the reason why so many people were disappointed when Kamala lost is because they were watching people like Midas Touch. The point that I want to make is
Kyle.
this. If YouTube media is doing the same thing as corporate media by misleading the viewers and trying
Sabby.
to establish audience capture, we're in trouble.
I agree. You'll cook, Sabby.
We're in trouble.
Let them know.
Because you can't just do it for clicks and views. There are a number of videos on this channel that I feel are my best videos that don't have as many views, but I still talk about those topics.
Okay.
And every now and then I may break through with the algorithm with a breaking news story or something like that that really takes off and does really well. I've been lucky to have a couple of those. But the reality is, I don't tailor my content to a said audience. And I think that's what makes this show a little bit different. If you're in one of my live streams, you'll see there are people in the chat who agree on some things and disagree on other things.
Well, goddamn.
You'll see that with my audience members. Sometimes they agree with me on some things. Sometimes they disagree with me on some things.
Damn.
That's great because that's the real world. The real world does not exist in this vacuum that Midas Touch has established.
I really want to ask. Sorry, just leaning into it. Would you ban Matt Hunter or Dubster Brian? Would she have banned them? I think she would have banned them. I'm just saying. I wreck your shit, fucking Sabby. I'll outflank you, bro. How dare you? Anyways, here we go. That's cool. That's cool for Sabby.
They can do what they want on their channel. I just get concerned when people see this stuff and they think all the problems that we have right now are because of Donald Trump.
Someone recommend Jared Taylor to Sabby Sabs. I want to see it.
Said elites, the system, Wall Street, the MIC, the billionaires,
the ROC,
that word,
Jay-Z, Memphis Bleak,
because that means that those people
really
do believe
Siegel,
that the Democratic Party is an opposition party, and it's not. And that means that they really do believe.
Hey, Amelie, right? That's her name. Amelie?
It's all Donald Trump's fault.
Amelie.
We'll go on a little bit more here.
Public opinion of the Democratic Party is still really low. Donald Trump's presidency may yet implode, but his approval rating hasn't cratered so far, and the country's still basically evenly divided on him. Democrats can't rely on the James Carville strategy. Carville said Democrats should roll over and play
he's a fucking dinosaur. Get rid of him.
Destroy himself while doing nothing to build.
James Carville is a fucking dinosaur. Bill Maher, dinosaur. Michael Cohen, dinosaur. That Midas Touch, the Carl Salesman I fucking heard, dinosaur. Get rid of all of them. Culturally, not through voting, not through bullshit, just straight up like, yo, you guys are trash. I'm done watching you, and move on to something else.
No, he's Bruce Willis, man. James Carville, Bill Maher, they all died. They just don't know it yet. We're all telling them they're ghost.
Okay, you're trying to do movie references and not even Swayze, right?
No, what? No, The Sixth Sense. They're all Bruce Willis at the end of The Sixth Sense. We're all telling him like your way is dead.
You're giving your age away. See, you should have said Patrick Swayze. That's what you should have said in Ghost. Okay. But anyways, let's keep it moving.
I never saw Ghost.
Exactly. You're showing your age. Let's continue. Here we go.
Build a popular movement. Now, ironically, Midas Touch's Trump obsession creates a kind of dependence on him. You might recall that television executive Les Moonves,
I remember this guy,
infamously said in 2016, it may not be good for America, referring to Trump's campaign, but it's damn good for CBS.
I remember that.
As Midas Touch covers how horrible Trump's presidency is, there's a perverse incentive at work here, which is that the podcast depends on the right to continue doing a series of horrific things in power in order to keep the outraged headlines flowing.
That part there.
Okay. I understand. But I still see the idea of view botting, bro. I still see bots boosting them up because guess what? That version of shitting on Donald Trump, I don't think works so well. I think Hassan's version of it works. I think that works. I think Kyle's version of that works because there's somewhat of some sense of substance. Because before Donald Trump became what he is now, there was people just shitting on Trump 24/7, right? But their content ate shit. In fact, their content was like watch to see them melt down when Trump got elected. Remember TYT? Or Pac-Man, or these guys, where it's like, oh, watch these leftists melt down because Trump got elected, right? That became the meta, or that became viral. So you're telling me 10 years after that, or damn near 10 years after that, now it's like cool to be like, yo, Donald Trump, cut his steak wrong. Are you telling me that? Like, come on. No way. So I'm really thinking, like, because they can't go to actual substance, like maybe a Hassan might go towards, or a Kyle might go towards. Because they can't do that, they have to go with stupid fucking bullshit. And thus, they need view bots to boost them up ahead of Joe Rogan somehow. Right? It's saying Midas Touch does better than Bill Murray? It doesn't. It doesn't do better than Bill Murray. Stop it. They don't. They don't say enough interesting shit. They're not that cool. They're not that charismatic. They're not that interesting. They're not better than Bill fucking Murray. Bill Murray will take the views over them any day of the week. So either they're view botting or the numbers are skewed in some sort of bullshit way. In my humble opinion. Otherwise, doesn't make sense. But let's continue. Here we go. Last 5 minutes.
I think is very important. Shout out to Nathan for that one, because that's the thing. You've now developed this platform where it's just all Trump,
Bill Murray
Trump,
on Joe
Trump,
Rogan
Trump,
podcast.
Trump, 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 Trump. It's just all that.
Listen,
when Donald
Sabby
Trump
already did
is
Space
not
Jam.
in office,
Shut up.
which at one point, one day will be the case, then what? Then what?
I think Sabby Sabs, her bangs should win like an Emmy nomination. I think she should be nominated for an Emmy for those bangs alone. Anyways, here we go. She's married though. She's a hottie.
What people will
but
see
she's
about
married.
my show is that there's some
fairly
topics
she's
that
married.
they may gravitate towards. There's others they may be like, oh,
she's still hot as shit though.
That's not really number one on my list. Not
I'm a
really
perv, bro. I'm the perv corner of YouTube.
But I think that people can say with this particular show is that I don't have said content on this channel. Like, there's different things. I do deep dives. I cover the news. I do interviews. I complain about Trump. I complain about Kamala. I complain about Biden. I complain about, Fox News hosts. I complain about CNN hosts. I complain about different things. And I criticize both parties.
Now, Sabby Sabs is not my cup of tea for content. I don't watch her too often. I watch her I'm watching her now, obviously, but sometimes I watch her stuff. Not my cup of tea. But I think her audience is actually real. I don't think she's full of shit. I don't think her audience is full of shit. So, you know what? You're already doing well for me. Just, once again, she might not be my corner of the internet, if that makes sense. But I hope she means well. I think she means well. And I hope she does, truly, like, deep down. And I hope she tries to do the right thing. I'm with her on that, hopefully. But then again, there's no team playing out here, bro. Not in politics. There's no room for team playing or any of that bullshit, bro. But I hope she's legitimate and for real and all that shit, bro. And shout out to Sabby Sabs, especially those bangs, bro. Pause. Here we go.
I'm not expecting everyone to be like me. I'm not expecting everyone to do what I do. And I'm not perfect. And I'm still trying to find ways that I can.
Those bangs are perfect,
well.
though. Those are super perfect.
But when I see that people are just dumping out content about said person, regardless if it's Trump or Biden, over and over and over and over and over again, it's disturbing because I know that one or two things are happening, or both. Number one, the Democratic Party is really somewhere financially in the mix, whether it's through an influencer company or whatever. We covered that before. They have different.
Okay. She said it then. Okay, she's on it. As possible view botting and boosting up of, let's be real, dog shit, boring ass, sawdust, dry ass content. Because I can't see the organic nature of it. I can't. Just from a few minutes of Midas Touch, I can't get why they're boosted up so highly. It does not smell organic at all, and it smells backed by something. Straight up.
I wish you luck in your watching experience. You gotta watch this shit, man. Please.
I'm gonna try to. I'm gonna try.
Please log in on Discord tomorrow so I know that you're alive and you didn't kill yourself from suicide.
I will try to. It is what it is. I got other stuff to do first. I gotta, look into the India-Pakistan beef. trying to learn more and more about it. K2C is outflanking me right now, and I don't like that. And I'm gonna try to outflank him and show him better.
You know we cooed them too. We cooed one of their president too in Pakistan, so there's a domino effect on that.
I just want to know something about it at the very least. So, once again, one of my blind spots I need to learn more about. But also Midas Touch. Let me hear more about them. I want to know more. But all right, here we go. I wonder if Sabby Sabs is actually implying bot farms. She might just be saying like, oh, Democratic Party backed, and thus because they get money, they get certain guests, and because they get guests, they get certain view counts. And I'm thinking like directly into the algorithm, views, bullshit, like fake comments, fake subscribers. I am actually considering that. But here we go.
Different ways of paying for things.
Oh.
And the other one is that they are going with what works to get views and numbers and audience capture.
I don't think that works to get views.
And it could be both. This is now the #1 podcast. Now, I don't expect this show, Sabby Sabs podcast, to be #1 podcast. I do not expect that to happen. And I'm totally cool with that. But if now that's the #1 podcast and they're getting the most views, this means that most people are taking in what they're putting out and they're totally missing the plot about the system that we have in place in this country.
If that's the case, if it's real people doing that, I am wrecked. I agree with Sabby. I am wrecked by that. If it's real people actually boosting those numbers like that, I'm wrecked. But I can't help but to believe, like almost defaultly, bullshit. I don't think these are real people actually watching these things. I think it's artificially boosted. Okay, all right, here we go. But she's right, man. That's scary if those are real people, like really boosting that dry-ass, cardboard-ass shit like that. I'm wrecked, for sure. But here we go.
They're totally missing the plot about Israel.
That's scary.
They're totally missing the plot about the lobby interest groups. They're missing the plot about universal policies.
Everything.
The fact that
about everything
we have real issues in this country that existed prior to Donald Trump and still exist today.
Yeah.
And the #1 podcast isn't even touching it.
Yeah, that's not good.
They're not even touching it.
It's not very good at all.
That worries me. Shout out to Nathan Robinson for this. You can find the rest of this conversation as well as the article. You can find the article at Current Affairs magazine, but you can find the rest of this conversation on the Current Affairs YouTube channel called Midas Touch Turns Democrats' Minds to...
Yeah, look at that. I'm like, damn, only 3.8 thousand views in 2 weeks? God dang. Then I look at my videos, I'm like, 50 views? Fuck! Then again, yeah.
Hey,
I'll be real.
Two of those views are me. You're welcome.
I know, you and your bot account, you fucker. Probably like 5 bot accounts.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Wait, you're my Democratic Party, bro. You're boosting my shit up with bot accounts. Fuck. I mean, those are totally organic, and Tim Shapiro is definitely organic of an account. Totally not someone I know. Anyways, here we go.
Slop. And I agree. And again, Nathan Robinson, last I remember, is a Democrat, or I don't know if he still is, but I know he supported the Democratic Party, but he supported more progressive policies like Bernie, etc. But I think it means a lot that Nathan said this. I mean, it really does need to be said. And I've seen it happen on both sides, right? Like,
I'm about to dive in, Sabby.
Content dumping for the sake of audience
the Midas
capture.
Touch.
Yeah, it gets you views.
By the way, I have a bad history of Midas. At the mechanics for cars and shit like that. Those motherfuckers have been dog shit in my whole life experience, bro. They are dog shit. I think they use an algorithm to like take care of cars instead of like being like a real mechanic, you know what I'm saying? You know like real mechanics. These fools are full of shit, bro. Midas is so trash. Fuck them. And also fuck the Midas Touch of their YouTube political video too. Political channel too. Fuck those guys. Here we go.
and numbers, but it's
I'm
really
biased.
not good for the audience because they're being misled that all of this is because of one person and not the bigger picture that they should also look at.
All right. I'll leave it there. This is going to be my morning, my 10 a.m., I guess, video premiere thing. Respect. Okay. Sabby didn't do bad with this video. She didn't do bad with this. I'm usually not, I'm not a Sabby, like, average viewer, like, you know, watch her shit all the time type of person. But this video, I think she did all right. Maybe there's a reason for that. I can't say I know. Maybe it's because, like, oh, it's maybe take down the bigger dogs, take them down a peg. For all I know, I can't say I know that. I'm not saying that's the case either. I'm just saying, like, well, possibly. Why not? But these Midas Touch guys, man, or the Brian Tyler or Taylor Cohen, I need to look more into. David Pakman, I've seen enough. I've seen enough of David Pakman. That fool is trash. He's been trash since the day I first fucking saw that guy. Like, this guy's fucking terrible. Who the fuck watches this guy? But then again, Tim Pool has fans too. I'm like, damn it. Like, these guys are terrible. Who's watching this? Anyways, I need to watch some more Midas Touch and find out what they're about. And I swear to God, it's going to be the most boring content in human history. It's going to be nonsense about nothing, with no moral backbone, no integrity about something, no principles. Just look how bad the Republican Party is. And that's going to hurt my feelings, man. And if it's real people, like Sabby Sabs said, if it's real people actually watching that, holy fuck, we got some work to do. Holy shit, you're falling for this? Just like Tim Pool fans, where I'm like, oh, okay, Tim Pool is view botting, right? He buys bots, he's bot farming, yada, 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 right? But if it's real people actually watching Tim Pool's fucking channel, holy fuck, we are so far behind. Holy shit, who's watching this? Please tell me they're like 98 years old or something. If they're in their youth and they're watching Tim Pool for content, oh my dear lord, stop it. Stop what you're doing right now. This is your brain on Tim Pool. Stop right now. Move on to something else. Please, I beg you to. But, you know, it's the world we live in. It is what it is. Alright, there's your video. Please subscribe if you like, comment, agree, disagree, tell me what you think. I think Sabby has a decent amount of good points. I think these Midas Touch guys are full of shit. Or some of the other ones, the Cohen guy, the Pakmans. I think they're dog shit. But you tell me, what do you think in the comment section? If you think these guys are legit, full of shit, whatever. If you have evidence or a video that you think could lean in a direction that you favor, please send it through. If not, tell me about it so I can look it up myself and then, you know, use it one day. Abuse my audience, you know what I'm saying? Do the work for me so that I can look it up and use it on my own videos for my own content, for my non-monetized video, you know what I'm saying? It'll be monetized though. Don't worry, one day I will make money off of this. I think.
I'd offer some money if you can find a video about Israel on Midas Touch channel.
I tried. I think there was, but it wasn't like, I don't know. It wasn't, it doesn't sound very racist. It wasn't kosher. Let's call it that. It wasn't very kosher.
The closest I can think of is Israel Adesanya is having a big match coming up. The closest I think they'll ever do that.
But anyways, yeah, send me a video or something, or name a video if YouTube blocks you. Just try to name it the best way you can so I can look it up myself, and then use it in a video. Don't forget to share, support, hopefully donate to all the links in the description box. Check them out, read them, share them, then donate. Thank you. And with all that said, I mean, give Sabby Sabs bangs, give them like a thumbs up. Those things are perfect. Look at that. It's like perfectly like spaced and shit. She's got the 90s thing going on. It's adorable. It's cute, you know? But give this video a thumbs down.
Say you wanna
get him.